Now, meteorologist Lindsay Schwarzwalder and your LEX18 Storm Tracker forecast.
And the severe weather is now embarking in on the bluegrass, and now we're going to bring you wall-to-wall coverage through the duration of the severe weather event. Here's the latest on the MaxTrack Live Doppler. You can see the strong, severe line, possibly tornadic line of thunderstorms extending from Florence out to Louisville and then further down to the south and west just to the east of Owensboro. Confirmed tornadoes within that, and then ahead of that squall line, we are seeing isolated supercells that are popping out towards Taylor, Marion counties as well, and these definitely bear watching. I'm going to step off and we'll read some of the town names that are in the path of this storm. Gravel Switch at 419, Mitchellsburg 424, Perryville at 426, and Danville at 433. You are in the line of that potentially dangerous thunderstorm. It'll eventually continue to the east-northeast. This will be moving into Boyle as well as parts of Mercer County. You folks are under a severe thunderstorm warning for the time being. As we take you a little bit further out to the north and east, just to the east of Cynthiana, also tracking a few more supercells, a couple brewing right over Carlisle right now, as well as just to the north and west of Flemingsburg. As for the current warnings, we are starting to see a lot of them. Tornado warnings, confirmed tornadoes across parts of southeastern Illinois as well as southern Indiana, and those are now beginning to push on into northern Kentucky. And for this, we're going to send it over to our chief meteorologist, Bill Mack.
And indeed, we are watching this squall line with embedded supercells, and there is a long history of damage with these coming across southern Indiana and western Kentucky. These storms are now beginning to encroach on our area. We've got our first severe thunderstorm warning that is local, but the main tornado warnings still remain to our north and west. Go ahead and take a look at these storms, and again, the warnings that we are talking about. We'll start you with the tornado warnings, and again, these are warnings that are up for the northern parts of Owen and Grant counties. Those, again, are tornado warnings that do continue. If you want to take it back into the very northern part of Henry County as well, then it goes back into Trimble County. We're also looking at severe thunderstorm warnings that have popped up. These new severe thunderstorm warnings are actually, they're not showing up on that display just yet, but it's for a line of thunderstorms that is now beginning to pop just to the south and southwest of Harrodsburg. These storms are now coming out of Mercer County. You see them there. These storms are headed toward Danville, Harrodsburg. We're also getting a new storm popping up just to the southwest of Nicholasville. So again, these are brand new storms that are developing ahead of the main line. When we show you that main line of thunderstorms, it is now crossing the Ohio River. It is now getting into the I-71 corridor. We'll take some of these lines off of here just to kind of clear it up for you. And again, you see numerous individual supercell thunderstorms, the ones that are likely tornadic at this point, where you see these circling icons. That's indicating that there's a lot of shear aloft. It's north of Newcastle in Henry County. It is a path. That one will take it somewhere near Owenton, likely just north of Owenton. Again, these are all individual supercell thunderstorms. You can see the pattern that we've talked about even last Wednesday, where you have this hooking taking place right in there. That, again, is a storm that is likely tornadic, very close to the Henry County, Owen County line, and that's in the northern parts of those counties. As you look to the southwest along this line, that is now moving in on the Louisville metro area. A severe thunderstorm moving in now on the Louisville metro. That storm had a history of being tornadic earlier. It looks like especially now just to the west of Louisville. And then you move down toward Bullitt County. And again, this is all in the I-65 corridor. You see the community of Brandenburg. Of course, Brandenburg being famous for Kentucky's only F5 tornado back in 1974. But you see those storms between Brandenburg and Shepherdsville off there to our south and west. So again, those storms, that main line is still better than an hour away, but now we're also beginning to see new thunderstorms developing ahead of that main batch. And so this is the area that we're going to have to keep really under constant supervision as the storms are moving rapidly northeast and developing out ahead of this main batch. So the storm that's near Danville, again, that's moving out of Marion County. You see Danville there. You see where that dark gray shading, that's likely where we're seeing hail with this storm at this point. As we come in a little closer, you'll put in Perryville, Mitchellsburg, the storm right over Gravel Switch at this point. And that storm, again, is capable of damaging winds as well as large hail. And again, look at just as one sweep how quickly things move. So you folks in Mitchellsburg, be prepared. And the thing is, with the environment that we have now, it is a case where things can develop very, very rapidly. want to point out the fact that there is a tornado watch that is in effect until 9 o'clock. That does cover almost the entire area at this point. When we're talking about the safe places to go, this is what we like to remind you of. We like to remind you, it's called the duck method of staying safe. You want to get downstairs. You want to get under something sturdy. And think of these things now. Think of them before your community comes under a tornado warning. So you get under something sturdy, center part of the house as well, and use those walls as layers of protection. And then finally what you want to do is keep your head down, keep away from doors and windows, sources of flying glass. Now, as these storms continue to approach, here's Lindsay what to do in case of lightning.
Okay, some lightning safety tips for you. You definitely want to stay inside. You want to stay away from windows. Don't just watch the storm as it approaches. That is not a good idea. If you are caught outside, don't be the tallest thing around. You also don't want to stand under a tree. Cars are okay. You don't want to be on the phone. You don't want to be on the computer. You don't want to be using electrical appliances. Just stay in the center of your home throughout this event. As well as if you do experience power outages, you can call Kentucky Utilities at 1-800-981-0600, Bluegrass Energy at 1-888-655-4243, and for you folks in Jackson, it's 1-800-262-7480.
All right, we continue to track this whole line of supercell thunderstorms, and again, a long history of tornadic damage has been occurring in southern Indiana and back into the western parts of Kentucky. So you get a bigger picture here as to what's going on. The line itself extends from Cincinnati to just about the Louisville metro to the north and northwest of Bowling Green, and some of those supercells in western Kentucky, those are big, big storms. The potential is large this afternoon and evening for long track, severe thunderstorms capable of extensive damage. So it's one of those things that we will continue to be bringing you over the next few hours as this system continues to unfold. Just give you a little quick look outside of Lexington. Here's a live look with our weather bug camera, and that's from St. Joseph Hospital. Right now, Lexington, we're fine. Not much going on, but again, you also notice on Broadway, there's not a whole lot of traffic right now. By the way, we are saying hello to the folks on CNN who are streaming along with us here. We are watching these storms developing as they're now approaching central Kentucky, still well to the west of I-75. So as we go to our Max Track Live Doppler, what we're going to show you with this, again, the storms that are out there. You see that line running now in the I-71 corridor from Florence, running right down I-71. New tornado warning has been issued for the northern part of Henry County. That continues into the northern parts of Owen as well as Grant counties. Again, these storms have a history of being tornadic. You see the storms there north of Williamstown, north of Owenton. It's still north of Newcastle. It's right there where Owen County, Henry County, Trimble County all come together, where again we are likely seeing a tornadic thunderstorm. That line then continues down I-71 toward Louisville. For the folks in Louisville there, again, they are monitoring these storms as well. Every one of these has had a history, or many of these have had a history of being tornadic. In fact, new report, this comes in from a spotter, tornado reported near Fort Knox. So that's going to be just south of Louisville there in Bullitt County. Again, a tornado is being reported near Fort Knox. That's going to be, as you look there toward Shepherdsville in the, we bring it a little closer here for you. And there you see Shepherdsville. So that's going to be very close to Fort Knox. Again, tornadoes being reported there. That's just crossing on our information stream right now. We're also looking at large hail is being reported from these storms. The severe thunderstorm warning also is continuing for folks who are in Marion County. Actually, Marion County is just about out of this storm, but we're looking now in Boyle County. For you folks in Boyle County, we've been talking about how this storm is rapidly developing, and with that, this storm likely producing some pretty large hail now between Perryville and Mitchellsburg. That cell, as you see it to the southwest of Danville, there you see that storm again, where you see that black core to it, likely again becoming a hail-producing storm as it's working its way northeast. And given the environment that we have, this storm has every capability of, again, being a tornado producer with very little warning. So for the path of this storm, here's Lindsay.
All right, you folks in Mitchellsburg, it is passing to your north and east, at least the core of it right now. Perrysville, you are going to be under the gun in a couple minutes, 423. Needmore at 426. Davis Hill, 428. It's going to be pushing into the Danville area at 430 and eventually into Bergen at 434 as it continues north and east. Toddville, 439. and then McCreary at 4:42.
All right, so again, that storm right now is a severe thunderstorm. It's not a tornado producer, but again, given the environment, given the tornado watch that we have in effect, this could produce a tornado with very little warning. So you folks in Danville, in Perryville, Mitchellsburg, be prepared to move to safe shelter with very little notice with these storms as it begins to work its way toward you, and it's doing so at a pretty fast clip. These storms individually are moving to the northeast at around 50 to 55 miles an hour as the entire line continues to sink southward. What is interesting to note now as we are looking here in time, we're going to zoom in a little bit here, a little south between I-64 and the Bluegrass Parkway. What you notice is we have storms beginning to intersect. You've got the main line right here. That's what we've been watching for the last several hours, and that's what's come across southern Indiana. But you'll notice now that we have cells that are developing perpendicular to that line. So that indicates that there is a lot of shear available for these storms. And so as they go up, they can indeed spin up very, very quickly. And one of those things that we are watching very carefully as we go through the next little bit. The storm that's on the south side of Lexington now, that went out, looks like Old Richmond Road area headed toward Athens. That one is not severe. That is just at this point a garden variety storm. But again, given the environment, things can change very quickly. And again, for you folks in Boyle County, especially just to the west of Danville, this is a storm that, again, is really firing up in a hurry. So you folks there need to be aware. You folks in southern Mercer County as well. There you see Highway 68. So it's between 168 and 127, just south of 150. That's where we are seeing that cell that is developing, again, very, very fast. So if you draw that little polygon between Mitchellsburg, Perryville, Danville, Junction City, that is where we are looking at that particular severe thunderstorm. Let's go ahead and show you the warnings that we have with that particular cell. And again, the warnings, severe thunderstorm warning for Boyle until 4:30, Mercer until 4:30, also Marion and Washington until 4:30. It looks like the storm has moved out of those two counties. Those are the current severe thunderstorm warnings. The bigger picture with the tornado warnings, it's Henry County, the northern part of Henry, the northern part of Owen, and Grant County, northern part of Grant County. That is another tornado warning. That is in effect until 4:30.
And we're going to be taking a look now at the big picture again. Here's the latest with the MaxTrack Live. You can see the potentially tornadic line, the main line that is consisted of all supercells that extends just from the south and east of Florence back to the west toward Louisville and then eventually down to the west of Elizabethtown. But what we're also focusing on are the supercells that are forming out ahead of that, and they are rapidly forming. You see the one right over parts of Boyle County as well as southern Mercer County. What we have been focusing on, again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that particular cell until 4:30, and it is rapidly extending further to the north, just to the south of Harrodsburg. But if you are in those communities, you do want to seek shelter. We could be seeing some large hail with that, as indicated by the deep shades of purple and even black. Not a tornado warning once again. That is a severe thunderstorm warning, but the tornadic thunderstorms still with that main line that extends from just south and east of Florence and northern Kentucky and back further to the west in Louisville.
All right, and we have been getting reports in from the folks at Lexington 911 that right now the call center is literally being overwhelmed. And so without an emergency situation, do not call the folks at Lexington 911. If you have an emergency, obviously do so. If you do... Okay, so far, and we just had a report in with the tornadoes that have occurred in Indiana. There have been 4 deaths so far. But again, to follow up, do not call Lexington 911 unless you have an actual emergency. If you are just calling and asking about what you should be doing in case of the weather, call 311. 311 is the general information number in Lexington. Again, if you're having questions, if there's a shelter set up near you, what you should be doing, call 311. Unless it is an actual emergency, do not call 911. Again, the call center there has been overwhelmed. Again, the storms that have come through Indiana, those have been tornadic producers. And here's again Lindsay as we look at the big picture on the radar.
Okay, again, we are looking at tornadic thunderstorms that range from just to the south of Florence and further back to the south and west into Louisville. These have already produced confirmed tornadoes across parts of southern Indiana as well as southern Illinois. We'll zoom in for you and take you down this line right now. We do have some tornado warnings in effect for northern Kentucky at this time, so we are seeing the potential for these tornadic thunderstorms, long duration tornadoes, long track, as well as high winds. As we take you down this line, though, again, it goes from Florence back through Bedford and LaGrange, and then eventually down into the Louisville metro area.
Again, these storms are now beginning to accelerate just a little bit faster to the east. The entire line appears to be, as it looks to have come through the Louisville metro fairly quickly after being west of town there for quite some time. And again, we're just hearing reports confirmed of at least 4 deaths from these storms in southern Indiana with these tornadic storms that have moved through. So again, as we're moving up here and coming up on 4:30, these warnings will be extended, but the ones that you see here, you see them for northern Owen, northern Henry, going on into Grant County. These, again, are warnings that continue. We are also looking, in fact, we'll give you the big picture on the warnings and highlight all of these for you. So it's Henry till 4:30, Owen till 4:30, Grant till 4:30. A new severe thunderstorm warning in Spencer County now till 4:45. Mercer and Boyle, that's a severe thunderstorm warning till 4:30. And you have tornado warnings back toward Hardin County, that's E-Town, and also back toward the Fort Knox area. So again, those are the current warnings that we have in place. The big picture, again, that is just a clustering of thunderstorms. And look at that one north of Bowling Green where you see that white showing up. That is an exceedingly intense supercell thunderstorm, and one that I'm sure the storm chasers are out there tracking right now. Again, the arrival time in Lexington for most of these storms, that is going to be during the 5 o'clock hour and beyond. So again, let's go back to our main radar picture. I'm going to have Lindsay take you through one more time again just to set the stage, to show you where we are as we prepare for what's going on.
Okay, and again, this tornadic line of thunderstorms, which has already produced deadly tornadoes across southern Indiana as well as eastern Illinois. This is now pushed into northern Kentucky, where Bill just went over the current warnings that are in effect. This line of tornadic thunderstorms across northern Kentucky, it extends further to the south into the Louisville area, where we do have current severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. And then again, we also have the current severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Boyle as well as southern Mercer counties. This extends up through the Harrodsburg area and down into Boyle County. This is expected to move into Garrett County as well as Madison County, and might even skim southern Fayette County. That's the current track. We just had a brand new severe thunderstorm warning issued with that.
Right. Also, a tornado watch has just been extended until midnight. That is going to be in effect for folks who are in eastern Kentucky. So now the entire area under tornado watches until either 9 o'clock for central Kentucky or till midnight for eastern Kentucky. We've also had reports of debris falling from the sky out of Boone County. That's in northern Kentucky. The storm that, boy, the one that I am still really, really concerned with is the one that is moving right about through Danville and going on up toward Harrodsburg at this point. So that's right along Highway 127, passing just on the north side of Danville at this point. That's, again, crossing the 127 corridor right now. So you folks there in the northeastern part, Boyle County there along Lake Harrington, eastern part of Mercer County there as you look over towards, say, Bergen. For you folks there, be aware of rapidly changing weather situations. Right now, that is just a severe thunderstorm, but again, with very little warning, that given the environment we're in, things can be upgraded very, very quickly. New thunderstorms also developing in Washington County, new ones also developing back into Marion County. These lines, or these storms, are developing ahead of what was the main batch of severe storms, and we got a new storm developing also just now to the west of Lawrenceburg. And again, you see how quickly things are changing, literally over a matter of minutes. With that storm that you see north of the Bluegrass Parkway there, that one's headed along Highway, I think it's 44, going into Anderson County. So again, that one's rapidly approaching Lawrenceburg. So you folks there, be ready that storm is moving in on you. Your conditions will change very fast. Meanwhile, we continue to watch the tornadic storms, the ones with confirmed tornadoes. These are still moving through the Louisville metro, especially more though the I-71 corridor just to the north. So we are looking at these storms, and as we're looking This is, again, just we're looking at stuff as you are. The storm that's moving in toward E-Town at this point, you see that, and E-Town, of course, or Hardin County, was one of the areas hit on Wednesday. So that storm that is now sitting north of Litchfield, that one has a tornado warning issued for it. That's headed toward E-Town at this point. You can see all this activity remains to basically our north and west with that one isolated storm that's in Boyle County. But again, things will be changing over the next couple of hours here. For the Lexington area over probably the next hour, eastern Kentucky over the next couple of hours. So that storm you see there just about to Litchfield, that's one that folks in E-Town are going to have to be keeping a very close eye on. Meanwhile, again, you see just that terrific line of storms now going all the way across northern Kentucky to the Louisville metro. Let's come in again and put a track on the storm that is moving out of Boyle County. Lindsay.
All right, again, this was a rapidly developing thunderstorm now across extreme northeastern Boyle County into southwest or southeastern Mercer County, moving into Garrett County at this point, as well as southern Jessamine. It's going to continue to trek north and east. It'll hit Bryantsville at 441, Valley View at 455, Athens at 501, and Ford at 503. Again, now this has cleared the Harrodsburg area just to the east of that. It is going to be moving into southwestern Jessamine County, northern Garrett, and eventually clipping Madison County as well as possibly southern Fayette County.
All right, and that storm again, you're seeing the icon, the spinning icon there. When it's a yellow one like that, indicates that the storm is showing some mid-level rotation now. So the storm is getting better organized. We're in an environment where things can change very, very fast. There's a tremendous amount of energy available. There's a lot of what we call shear in the atmosphere. These things combine, so as these individual thunderstorms go up, especially ones that are developing off on their own, the updrafts, the storm, what maintains the storm, what they can do is begin to have a spin to them, and that's something that can change exceedingly quickly with any one of these storms. One of the things we also talk about is we're looking at our severe weather parameters. We look at what's called the BTI, the tornado index that we have. Right now that's sitting at a 4. A couple of the storms that we looked at on Wednesday were well into the 6s. It's not an absolute scale. What it is kind of a relative one. So if we see these numbers begin to change pretty dramatically, say we start seeing the numbers going up into the 6s and the 7s, well, the chances for tornadic storms from these begin to increase as well. For that storm right now, it is simply a severe thunderstorm warning, but it is still capable of damaging wind gusts. That storm is sitting north of Danville, south of Harrodsburg, north of Lancaster, moving in across Harrington Lake right now. Secondary cell, part of that is just north of that, southern Woodford County, beginning to creep into the Wilmore and Highbridge area of Jessamine County. So these storms, again, all capable of very, very rapid development. Here's the bigger picture again. We'll take that off for you and pull the lines off here just to clean things up so you get a good view of what's going on. Those long arrows, what that tells you is these storms are flying. They are moving very, very fast across our weather maps. So again, it may be nice outside your house right now, that can change in just a few minutes as these cells do continue progressing eastward. We've had reports now out of northern Kentucky again. We'll take you up here to the storms up by Florence. In fact, you get up to Covington and the northern Kentucky airport. They are diverting flights right now out of northern Kentucky airport. They're actually diverting them now to Lexington. So again, you may be seeing a little bit of an uptick of activity over by the Bluegrass Airport. But for the moment, with the weather conditions as they are diverting these flights. We'll let that sweep come by one more time for you. We'll put some arrows on here and give you again kind of reference material with these storms when we're talking about our indices. And again, we'll see if these are any different than what we were looking at with the storm to the south, because again, each one is looked at. And you can see the BTI on that one's also sitting fairly low at 4.3. One up by Alexandria. Then I'll get to see the tornado index on that one's up at 7.1. So again, we would be paying a lot more attention to that storm up by Alexandria in northern Kentucky, although that storm that's approaching Williamstown now in Grant County, that storm is beginning to take on that hook appearance. And when we talk about the hook appearance, what we're showing you with this, you see the hail that's up here, but what happens then is you get this hooking right in like that, and it's in that area. If this storm is tornadic, and given the way these storms have been looking today, there's every possibility that it is. It does have a tornado warning for it. That storm approaching Williamstown now in Grant County is likely a tornadic storm. So again, it's a situation where we're going to watch things changing very, very quickly. It's a rapidly evolving situation on the weather maps, and one where you need to continue to stay vigilant and to be staying weather aware.
And again, let's take a look at some of these supercells that are also forming out ahead of this tornadic line. We'll zoom you into the one now that's beginning to cross just to the east of Danville into northern Garrett County as well as southern Jessamine County. We'll zoom in right now. Again, severe thunderstorm.
Zoom into Shelby County, halfway between Louisville and Lexington.
Okay.
There's a new tornado warning that's about to be issued for Shelby County. It's the storm that you see. You can see it in the entire system right here. So again, Shelby County is about to come in under a warning here. It's in this area right there, on the Shelby-Jefferson County line, where we are likely seeing the development of a tornado, or at least a tornadic thunderstorm, potentially tornadic. And so for you folks there, you need to be aware in Shelby County that you are about to come under a tornado warning that's going to be lasting until 5.
And again, on this one evolving thunderstorm, supercell thunderstorm, again down towards Garrett County, moving into southern Jessamine County. Still just a severe thunderstorm warning, but again with the changing weather scenario and the bubbly atmosphere that's in place, this can be changing at a moment's notice. But this core of the storm just to the west of Nicholasville at this point, and we're also seeing strong returns across northern Garrett County right along route or Highway 27. This storm is pushing to the north and east, so it will be clipping northern Madison County as well as southern Fayette County and eventually making its way into Clark County as well.
We now are looking at storms, some of the history of these storms. The one that is now in northern Garrett County, when it came out of Marion County, produced golf ball size hail at Gravel Switch. So again, that storm now has a history of large hail. For you folks in Jessamine County, also we're keeping an eye on that storm that's not far from Wilmore, a little south of Keene. That one there on the Woodford-Jessamine County line, that one again is beginning to take on some characteristics that we're going to watch very carefully. This just in from the Owen County Sheriff, that we have had reports of baseball-size hail. That baseball-size hail was in Owenton, and we've had reports of damage to barns up in Owen County from the storms that went through there. So again, baseball-size hail. Here are the warnings, and these are the new ones that have just come out. We're talking Shelby County and Spencer County. That is in effect until 5 o'clock. That takes it right up to the Anderson County line. That was a little south of the one that we were actually looking at. We have the new severe thunderstorm warning also that is just coming in a little bit further to the south. For this severe thunderstorm warning, it's Fayette County until 5, Jessamine until 5, Madison until 5, Garrett, Boyle, and Mercer also until 5 o'clock. Those are indeed the severe thunderstorm warnings that are these brand new ones for that cell that we were showing you. So that clips the southern part of Fayette County. Does not include Lexington. That is a severe thunderstorm warning until 5 o'clock. Southern Fayette County, southern Jessamine County, Mercer, Garrett, Madison, as well as Boyle counties. It's also clipping the northern part of Lincoln County, but it looks like that storm is passing just north. Again, tornado warnings are up to the Shelby. They're up to the Shelby County as well as Anderson County lines. There you see Shelby and Spencer until 5 o'clock. That is a tornado warning. We're going to come back to the radar here. For you folks in Jessamine County, Nicholasville. Again, the storm is taking on a hook-like appearance. There is no warning for that at this point. It is, at this point, a thunderstorm that we are just monitoring very carefully. But you folks in Nicholasville, be aware that you have a storm that has likely got some rotation to it as it is beginning to approach you. Again, there are warnings just to the south of that storm. But again, we're monitoring, watching very carefully that storm that is approaching Nicholasville at this point. So that one's also on target to come into the southern part of Fayette County. The severe thunderstorm is along the Kentucky River on the Garrett, Jessamine County line. That continues and back into Madison County. So that is a cell, again, several of them that we are looking at this point. And we've been watching the main body of cells sitting up to the northwest, up along the I-71 corridor. The tornado warning continues for Shelby and Spencer. We've been watching a thunderstorm there near Mount Washington.
Tornado warning just went up for parts of Jessamine County up into Fayette. Okay,
so Fayette County, for you folks in Fayette County, this is your time to get to shelter. Connie, Olivia, if you are watching, it is time to get to your shelters. With this, we again talk about where to go. You go to the duck. Downstairs, you get under something sturdy. You go downstairs, you get under something, you head to the center of the house. You get to keep your head down, keep away from doors and windows, sources of flying glass. So again, that storm that is near Nicholasville, that is the one that we are watching. Again, tornado warning, Fayette, Jessamine, Woodford. This is in effect until 5:15. Again, the storm near Wilmore. It's being reported moving northeast at 85 miles an hour. That may be a little, that's almost amazing to be reading that number. But again, that's what's coming through as part of the warning, that may be coming through at around 85 miles an hour. There is the storm. If the storm is tornadic, it is going to be very close to Nicholasville at this point. Looks like just outside the bypass there. You're going to see different colors pop up here. You're going to be looking at a different color display. We're looking at the reds and the greens where they are coming together. That is, again, where if the storm is tornadic, where it likely will be. We're going to let that sweep come by here again. Again, this is a tornado warning for Fayette County and for Jessamine County, as well as the southern part of Woodford County. This is in effect until 5:15. And again, the reds and greens together near Nicholasville. Looks like right there by the bypass on the north side of Nicholasville. So again, that if the storm is tornadic, where we would be seeing that at this point. The warnings again that we are talking about, and let's see, we're waiting for the tornado warning to show up on here. We are watching this storm again for the southern part of Fayette County, northern part of Jessamine County. Again, these are tornado warnings, so give that a second to pop in there. We'll wait for that one to show up. There's the big picture for you once again. Here's the MaxTrack Live. We've got storm that's likely producing hail at this point, right at the Fayette-Jessamine County line. Again, if this storm is tornadic, it's going to be just to the south of that, not far from Highway 27. Looks like we're on Catnip Hill Road area there in the northern part of Jessamine County. If this storm is tornadic, again, we were advising you on this before the warning actually came out. So again, you're watching the sweeps come by. And as we do so, waiting for the warnings to pop to be able to give the exact information, put the polygon on here for you to show you where this warning is. For you folks in southern Fayette County, you need to be in shelter now. Again, do not call 911 unless you are seeing the tornado causing damage. Otherwise, call 311 in Fayette County. This is a tornado warning for Fayette County, northern Jessamine County. There you see it until 5:15. In fact, it's covering almost all of Fayette County with this tornado warning and the extreme eastern part of Woodford County. So again, here you go. So you can read it on the screen. Tornado warning, Fayette until 5:15. Jessamine County until 5:15. Eastern Woodford County until 5:15. This is a tornado warning. So again, for folks in Fayette County, it is time to head to shelter now. Wait for the storm to pass. Get in shelter. Keep your information source handy, but get to your shelter immediately.
And if we can flip this back on the radar here. At the very least, I mean, we are seeing some very strong returns across southern Fayette County right now, and some large hail, definitely a possibility. As you were saying before, we had some golf ball sized hail. That's
going to be between New Circle and Man-O-War, between Tates Creek and Nicholasville Road, and also back toward Harrodsburg Road, where we're seeing those black spots showing up. That, again, likely where the storm is producing hail. Where the storm, if it's tornadic, is going to be in this area right in here, which again is right along Highway 27, the Brannon Crossing area. Folks at Brannon Crossing, find your shelter in the stores. With that storm rapidly approaching, you may only have a few seconds left to be in shelter in the Brannon Crossing area, all that new development there at the Fayette-Jessamine County line. This is headed toward South Point. This is headed toward Pinnacle. This is headed toward Waterford, Heartland, Bellewood. All of these communities, all these subdivisions there along Man-O-War, along the near Fayette Mall. Again, Fayette Mall area, you guys need to be in the shelters now. This storm, again, has the potential to be tornadic with very little notice. The warnings are in place, and we are advising you to get to your shelters now. Again, this is a tornado warning. That is for the southern part of, or actually most of Fayette County, the northern part of Jessamine County. We are looking at this tornado warning that does continue in effect. Again, this is an image you're not used to seeing, but again, we're just analyzing the storm here with the reds and greens next to each other. That means you've got air moving toward and away from the radar right next to each other, indicating that, again, the storm does have a degree of rotation, and it's that area right along Brannon Road in northern Jessamine County. Looks like now just to the east of US 27, where we continue to see this potentially tornadic storm as it's working its way into the southern part of Fayette County. As we come in closer for you here and we're going to put some communities on, you see these are some of the neighborhoods. So you got Brannon right now, Blueberry Hill, Barleto, which is across from Fayette Mall, Stony Brook, again, all potentially within the path of this storm. Some of the newer communities, Waterford, Pinnacle, Heartland, Bellewood, again, all be aware, South Point, that this storm is heading right over you. It's very close to the Brannon Crossing shopping center. That's headed toward Tates Creek Road, Manowar, going out toward the Gainesway area along Tates Creek Road. So again, this is a potentially tornadic storm and one that we are continuing to monitor. There are the warnings that continue in place. And these, again, are warnings for Fayette County, for Jessamine County. These are tornado warnings that are in effect until 5:15. Tornado warnings also remain up to our west, but it's, again, these storms here that we are continuing to watch. Lindsay, go ahead on the weather bugs. Pop up the Bluegrass Community Technical College camera. See if we can get that one on here for you. Downtown camera is not seeing much of anything. That's pointed north away from where this storm is. So we are watching, again, severe thunderstorm, tornadic potential thunderstorm that is working its way now into the southern part of Fayette County. The storm has cleared northern Jessamine County at this point. Hail is likely being produced with this storm now. As you look towards, say, the Andover area, Chevy Chase, inside New Circle Road, out around Hamburg, likely, again, some hail from this storm as well. If the storm is tornadic, it looks like that's going to be right about Tates Creek Road and New Circle at this point. So it's in the Lansdowne area. So again, for you folks there, you guys need to be in your shelters and you need to be there now. We're going to go ahead and pop up the weather bug camera, and this is coming in from the BCTC Cooper, and that's live. Let's go ahead and pull the St. Joe off of there. We are again watching that particular thunderstorm. This again is a live look right there at BCTC Cooper campus. And again, you're seeing the heavy rain. That may be some hail going on with that storm as well.
Hail and Chevy Chase.
Yeah, well, that's what we're looking at right there. Hail and Chevy Chase. Hail going on right now at the BCTC Cooper campus. That again right there at UK. You're looking at Cooper Drive and looking toward the baseball fields there at UK. So again, that's the hail part of this thunderstorm. It is just to the south of it. It is just to the south of it that if this storm is tornadic, that is where it is going to be. And so as we come in closer on this again for you, this is now going through the southeast side of Lexington. We'll come in a little closer, put the streets on here for you. Again, we've got the hail core with this storm. Between New Circle and Manowar, about Alumni Drive. So again, that's where we're seeing if this storm has some rotation to it. That's where it's going to be. We're looking at the high definition display here, and again, reds and greens. Right now, not seeing much. But we are looking now at, here's the, we'll show you the weather bug camera. This, we're going to show you, take you back to the St. Joseph Hospital weather bug camera. And you're seeing just the edge of that supercell looking from downtown, looking from St. Joseph Hospital back toward the downtown. So look at the right side of your screen there. That's right there at the edge of UK, which we were showing you on the Cooper campus. So again, at the right side of your screen, that's the downdraft. That's the downpour from that storm. That's the hail that you were seeing coming down right there at the right side of your screen. Again, we are continuing to look at this storm, and very, very heavy returns coming in from the Chevy Chase area out toward Hamburg as well with this particular thunderstorm. Again, tornadic storm remains a possibility with this. The storm is producing hail. And again, for you folks now in the eastern parts of Fayette County, you guys are under the gun from this Hamburg area, Andover Forest. For you folks there, you guys need to be in shelter. For you folks in the southern part of Fayette County, the communities that the subdivisions we were listing there along Manowar, the storm has passed you. Jessamine County, the storm has gotten by you. So again, you guys can stand down from that. We are going to be seeing more storm possibilities as we go through time. But again, the storm now approaching I-75. And that storm approaching I-75, again, we have at least the potential for it being a tornadic thunderstorm.
Pea-size hail reports near downtown Lexington.
Okay, so we're getting hail reports out of downtown Lexington. We've got Tom Ackerman in here now.
Yeah.
And Lindsay Schwarzwalder continues with us.
All right, and we are still tracking this potentially tornadic thunderstorm across eastern Fayette County right now. As we take a look here, we'll circle the part that could potentially be tornadic, the area right over I-75 at this point. Further to the north, though, we see the hail core. This is up towards where I-75 and I-64 connect with each other. So most of this is to the east of the downtown area, although we just did get reports of pea-sized hail falling in the downtown area.
Lindsay,
Nonetheless,
we're looking at a picture at I-75 right now, live picture from I-75. That is with our traffic cam that you see there, and again, the torrential downpour that those folks are in. You see everybody putting on their hazard lights with that, again, just blinding rain that is occurring. It's at I-75, it's I-64, the southern split. So again, that's right by the Hamburg area, right there by Winchester Road, and they are driving into the teeth of the storm that we were just showing you there with the MaxTrack Live Doppler. So again, that is a storm that does continue to be potentially tornadic, although it may be losing a little bit of its hook right now that we were showing you earlier on, but the storm does continue into the I-64, I-75 corridor. The warnings that do continue, we'll give you the big picture on these. Again, the tornado warning, Jessamine County, looks like that particular cell, though, has left. Let's go and take the radar to the south. We've got new tornado warnings that have been issued. These are now coming in from Madison County. In fact, we'll go ahead and just expand this whole thing out here for you. We've got new tornado warnings that are issued for Madison County. Can we get a time on the Madison County ones yet? No. Okay, but yeah, this is a storm that is coming out of Garrett County into Richmond, right there on the Garrett and Madison County line. Again, a well-pronounced hook beginning to take shape with this particular cell. It is running south of Valley View. This one is going to be heading across northern Madison County, and will be doing so. So again, this is a tornado warning. As we are watching the storm, we'll put a track on this one for you. And you see Edenton, Newby, Baldwin, Stringtown, and Stringtown, these are over the next 8 minutes or so. Other communities that are going to be in the path of this particular storm, we're talking about Bluegrass at 5:05, Red House 5:07. You had big hail the other day from those storms. And look then finally toward Doylesville, and that's getting off more toward the east. So again, that is a tornadic thunderstorm on the Madison-Garrett County line, hugging the Kentucky River. So again, an area that we saw storms on Wednesday. The same area is again under the potential for another tornadic thunderstorm. This one on a path that will likely be just north of Richmond. But for you folks in Richmond, you need to be getting to shelter now. Looks like the warning itself is just inside of EKU. So again, it's very close to the Eastern Kentucky campus, but likely just north of the Eastern Kentucky campus that we are looking at that particular tornado warning. You have a time on that one?
5:15.
All right, so 5:15 for
Madison County.
Madison and Garrett County. So
Yeah.
again, that tornado warning does continue as well. We've got more strong storms moving in now on Woodford County, especially from Versailles southward. So again, for you folks there, you are looking at that particular storm as well. So none such getting down then into the southern part of Woodford County, headed there right there along the Kentucky River, and then back over to the northern part of Jessamine County around Keene. That is another strong storm, but it's the one, yeah, this one right here. That again, just north of Paint Lick, where we are looking at what is in all likelihood a tornadic supercell. We'll get a couple of streets on here and again, we're getting really into the rural roads out here. Posey Ridge Road is what we've clicked up on that. Again, right in there, a little bit ahead of that storm, that's Jackson Branch Road. And then you've got US 25 sitting a little bit further off to the east. So again, this storm is working its way rapidly northeast. And again, this storm likely tornadic as well. The tornado index is now pushing 5 on this particular cell with large hail. It's certainly a possibility from that particular thunderstorm too. As it does continue off to the east. We'll put a velocity on here real quick just to get an idea of what's going on with this. And where you're seeing the radar doesn't quite know what's going on, and it's not a fault of the radar. The radar only measures toward and away from the radar, but it's going to be right in this area, right between Posey Ridge and Jackson Branch Road, where if this storm is tornadic, that's again where that is likely to be at this point. Again, the threat is strong from this particular cell. As we're looking at some of the wind displays off of this, you can see that we're showing winds that may be in excess of 70 miles an hour with some of this, as we are looking at that particular cell again near Posey Ridge Road. And again, the storm is moving off rapidly to the northeast. So again, for you folks from Richmond northward, they're actually showing about 60 mile an hour winds with that, for that storm moving north of Richmond. Go ahead and bring you back to a regular display that you're used to seeing. And again, that is a very pronounced hook echo from that particular cell. So again, for you folks in northern Madison County, that is the one you guys need to be of great concern with at this point. We'll pull the arrows off to bring you back into perspective and let you see things as they are developing.
I'm going to drive for a minute.
Feel free to drive.
All right. I've got to get up to speed here since I just walked in the door, but this is meteorologist Tom Ackerman and Lindsay Shoreswalder.
We'll put the warnings on here while you're getting ready to drive here.
Yeah, we've got a number of obviously supercells and tornado warnings packed in here. It looks like the one across Fayette County has now crossed off to the north and the east and is getting up closer to Clark County. We have a warning for Clark County, I would imagine, as well, and down towards Richmond, that particular cell. And this is the one that came, the exact same spot as the one that hopped Wednesday across northern Madison County, the exact same area. So as you get that time lapse on there, you can see it cutting across just to the south of Valley View, splitting the difference between that and Richmond, and that live sweep rolling by showing the hook on the back end of it. If you're in the northern end of, Richmond proper, some of the burbs, but especially right there in the middle between Valley View, likely getting some large hail out of this. And also that potential, forgive me as I pop some products up here, it's still a little scattered, but the possibility of tornado on the ground. We have any confirmation of anything on the ground
Nothing
yet,
on the
Bill?
ground.
Okay.
No reports of confirmation of anything on the ground.
All right. So obviously the major concerns here are going to be the possibility of very large hail.
Go ahead and bring
and
it back
also
out again.
tornadoes. What you got?
We've got new tornado warnings that are coming out for Anderson, Franklin, Shelby, Spencer, and Woodford. New tornado warnings. Anderson, Franklin, Shelby, Spencer, and Woodford.
And
these will be in effect until 5:15. We're looking at a severe thunderstorm near Mount Eden moving east at 65 miles an hour. So again, this is a brand new tornado warning. This one coming in along and north of the Bluegrass Parkway, north of Highway 62. These are new tornado warnings. There you see the community of Mount Eden right there. This is going south of Waddy, Peytona. So again, for you folks there, the southern part of Shelby County, the western part of Anderson County, in fact, all of Anderson County, because this storm is rocketing to the east at around 60 miles an hour. Again, this storm capable of producing a tornado with very little warning, may already be doing so. So again, that is a tornado warning until 5:15. Northern Anderson County, southwestern Franklin County, including the city of Frankfort, Woodford County, Shelby County, as well as the extreme eastern part of Spencer County.
We did just get reports of golf ball size hail out of Woodford County. That was just in. And also out towards Athens, Boonesboro Road. They are reporting heavy wind and rain at this time. No hail and no damage.
All right, so that's the ground truths that we have to these storms. You see one severe thunderstorm there that is between Versailles and Lexington. That one moving to the northeast. That one again likely producing some hail. That's going to be not far from Dunbar High School. So again, for you folks by Paul Lawrence Dunbar over there in the Beaumont area, you've got what is likely a hail-producing storm coming toward you. Again, a potentially tornadic storm is back in Anderson County, moving into Anderson County, coming out of Spencer County. That one's going to clip the southern part of Shelby, but that particular cell also has the potential to be heading toward the community of Frankfort. Jet, you get into the areas from Lawrenceburg northward there in Anderson County, Waddy, Peytona there along I-64. You've got torrential rain ongoing, probably some hail as well. But again, for the area around Mount Eden, right there at the Anderson County line, again, where the storm may be potentially tornadic at this point.
Yeah, we're going to zoom in and get closer as you get right up there on the Anderson County line, just to the west of it around Mount Eden, and to the south, right where you're seeing that pronounced hook, that dip to the south. That is the area you're going to want to be the most concerned about. So heading east out towards Lawrenceburg, you folks within the path of this storm, and also points more off to the east, northeast with the track of this storm. Again, I'm going to go ahead and drop this text off here and zoom it out a little bit to give you an idea of what's going on. It's going to cut right across northern parts of Anderson County and eventually take a beeline towards Versailles. So Woodford County taking a hit at the moment, east Woodford County and western Fayette County. And now this particular storm that we've got a tornado warning out for, cutting just to the south of Mount Vernon and into northwestern Anderson County.
We now have had a severe thunderstorm warning. If you want to head up to the northeast there, Tom, head up toward Bourbon County. Severe thunderstorm warning for Bourbon, Clark, and Nicholas County. That's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:15. Given the tornado watch that we have and what's considered a particularly dangerous situation with the tornado watch, anytime we're talking about a severe thunderstorm potential, you need to be thinking that the storm can become tornadic with very little warning. These are thunderstorm warnings. These are not your run-of-the-mill, oh gosh, let's watch the storm go by kind of things. These are the kind that you need to get into your shelters as these storms approach, because even if the storm at this particular second is not tornadic, it can change very, very quickly. We continue to monitor the storm that is potentially tornadic and has issued a warning across the northern part of Madison County. That is now approaching I-75, not too far from the Clays Ferry Bridge. So again, northern part of Madison County. This is north of Richmond. So it's between Richmond and the Clays Ferry Bridge. You've got that severe thunderstorm, potentially tornadic, moving through. As I was reminded, it's exit 95 in that area of I-75 where you have the truck stop, the McDonald's, and the Shell station. So again, that is the area where this storm looks to be going through at this point. So again, for you folks there, you guys need to be in your shelters at this point as well. And again, for folks in Anderson County and Franklin County, you guys need to be in shelter as well, and that's all the way up to the city of Frankfort. As you're looking at the threat indicators from this, again, the potential is there for this storm to be producing winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. I think if you're hitting the red, you're going to probably get a little bit, up to about 70 miles an hour with that. The tornado warning for Fayette, Jessamine, Woodford obviously has been canceled with the storm moving on out. So again, the tornado warning for Fayette, Jessamine, Woodford, we hopefully gave you the all clear as that was leaving the various communities. Again, that tornado warning has been canceled.
We also had golf balls reported hail out towards Brannan Crossing down in Jessamine County from the newsroom.
And another issue here, it's 5 o'clock. This is the prime rush, and I was just driving in on News Circle. There were a lot of people traveling. So if you're in and around News Circle, you know folks leaving work, trying to get home, especially all those folks that traveled at a heavily traveled commute between Lexington and Richmond along 75. This storm has got to be producing some fairly decent-sized hail from the returns that we're showing here, although it looks like the core of it now across North Madison County has pulled a little more away from 75, closer to Ford, and as you get up towards Boonesboro. But again, the potential, even if it's not tornadic, for large hail. What's the biggest hail size we've seen so far? 2.5?
Reports of baseball-sized hail out of Owen County. We also have a report of potential injuries in Owen County as well. That has just come into us. So again, that's to the northwest of Lexington. Tornado warnings do continue we have new ones that looks like till 5:15 for Grant and Owen counties to the north. So those are a new set of storms in addition to the tornado warnings that we were talking about for Franklin, Woodford, Anderson County, as well as Shelby County, although that storm likely out of Shelby County.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and zoom in and show you what's going on just off to the north. You can see those severe storms from Owenton up through Falmouth, and as you head further north and east.
You're looking, actually, we got a live picture up right now, Tom, at Leestown Road off the traffic cam. And so go ahead and get the radar set. But you're looking at hail, and also that's at New Circle in Leestown. So again, we've had hail come through there. At this point, these storms again, the history has been a lot of hail from these, and big hail at that. And again, the tornado warnings do continue. But again, you're looking there at Leestown Road, New Circle Road, where traffic does continue to move okay. A little bit better than what we were seeing earlier along I-75. It looks like every once in a while see a little hail bouncing there. So again, that is Leestown Road in Lexington up there on the northwest side that we are watching that. Tom?
Yeah, I just got a message from Lindsay. She said that they've got a train spotter report out of Berea of a funnel cloud. That would be down towards South Madison County.
We can also verify the hail here in Lexington. Yeah. We've got a little pea-sized hail up here on the north side, which is melting in my hand right now.
Oh, you just brought one in. Okay, yeah. And right there is the storm that Bill was looking at and talking about across northern parts of New Circle. If you're commuting up towards Georgetown Road between Masterson Station, Northland, obviously torrential rain, but also some hail mixed in with this that we've got actual ground proof of just coming right across. There you can see it on the Max Track Live, the northern part of Fayette County. And again, this storm is going to continue to track off to the northeast, as the majority of these have, between about 50 to 60 miles per hour. Again, want to zoom out, though, some of the areas that are still under those tornado warnings. Northeastern Madison County, they've extended that one up to the northeast. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pop it back out again. See if we can get Bill over there on the wall.
All right, and we're tracking this line of supercell thunderstorms. Actually, it's turned more into a cluster. And these clustering of thunderstorms, each one of these supercells, they are trying to work together now and produce a widespread severe weather outbreak. So you see them looking across from just south of Cynthiana back over into the extreme eastern part of Scott County. It's going to be not far from Delaplane, from Paris over to Carlisle, North Middletown, Millersburg, again getting in on these storms. Here's the hail-producing storm in the northern part of Fayette County. This is a potentially tornadic storm. This is the one that we're looking at now coming into the southwestern part of Franklin County, the northern part of Anderson County. It has exited out of Shelby and Spencer County. You folks there, if you're in eastern Shelby, eastern Spencer, you're okay for the moment. It's now going into the western part of Anderson County, now just south of I-64 there where the worst of the storm is. It's in that little appendage that you see dragging in to the northern part of Anderson County. Tom, come in just a little bit closer on that one. Let's get a couple of the communities there that are just northwest of Lawrenceburg. Again, that storm likely is going to pass just north of Lawrenceburg or be very, very close. So again, you're seeing the communities here. I'm trying to remember the name of you got Waddy and you got Greffenberg up here, and then headed up toward Jet and Duckers. They're at the northern part of Woodford, southern part of Franklin County. And if you're expecting me to read that, it's going to happen.
Those are pretty small.
But again, you've got the Lawrenceburg here. You've got the storm that is potentially tornadic right here. So it's sitting about 10 miles to your west. It's going to take a little less than 10 minutes for that storm to get to 127 there from Lawrenceburg northward. So again, be prepared. There you see in the velocity displays, you've got the green and the reds right next to each other, and that is an indication that this storm, again, has winds coming toward it and away from it aloft. And when you see that, that's an indication of spin in the cloud. That's what can drop down as the funnel cloud or the tornado. And again, this is sitting about 10 miles west-northwest of Lawrenceburg there in Anderson County. So again, for you folks in Lawrenceburg, say from Highway 62 north, you guys need to be in shelter now waiting for this storm to pass. The southern part of Franklin County, from I-64 southward at this point, need to be in shelter now. It looks like we're producing a little bit of hail right there between 127 or along 127 there, just south of I-64. So that's going to be going into that shopping center there along the exit there at I-64 and 127. You got the community of Lawrenceburg. You've got this storm right here. It is moving at about 60 miles an hour to the northeast. We've got a new cell developing on the Fayette-Woodford County line. Let's go back to the cell there in Richmond, north of Richmond there, Tom. Okay, so this is the cell that we had a tornado warning up for and still continue with a tornado warning. You've got Boonesboro and Ford. You've got the Kentucky River right there. This is headed toward Trapp in the southern part of Clark County. That's right around the Red House area now in northern Madison County. That is going to be tracking then across the Kentucky River heading into the southern part of Clark County, eventually heading toward the Mountain Parkway. And again, as the storm has continued tracking northeast, we continue to track the progress of what is, again, a potentially tornadic storm. Has a history of hail. Damaging winds, certainly a possibility from this. And again, given the situation, the potential that we could see a tornado almost at any time. These are pictures coming in. Looking at one of our traffic cams, not sure what traffic cam it is. I-75, where at I-75? I-75 is a big place. So, okay. I-75 northern split there, northern Fayette County, not far from the Scott County line. Again, we are tracking, well, you see there some of the heavy rain that's ongoing, maybe a little pea-sized hail with that particular storm as well. Let's pop up what warnings we have. Let's get just the data on the warnings. So again, everything, I don't know how old those are. That may not have refreshed because that doesn't look right.
Okay,
yeah.
You go ahead and refresh it. This is your show.
Yeah. All right, the warnings that we're really most concerned about right now are the ones for northern Anderson County until 5:15, Jessamine County until 5:15, and also extreme western parts of Woodford County. That is in effect until 5:15.
Yeah,
so,
and I can just go ahead and run down the list real quick.
We've
got Anderson, Bracken, Fayette, Franklin, Garrett, Grant, Jessamine, Madison, Pendleton, Shelby, and Woodford counties, and those are all tornado warnings. Just incredible. We're used to seeing severe thunderstorm warnings with that number of actual warnings out there.
We're going to go ahead and take the WeatherBug camera from St. Joseph Hospital looking back toward downtown Lexington. And again, what you see with it, you see again just the bottom of the shelf cloud there, the one that we were looking at with the traffic cam. That one is northern Fayette County. That again looking from St. Joseph Hospital looking back toward downtown. So again, you see the cell that's in place out there. That one, again, has a history of some small hail to it. Let's go back. Yeah, we'll go back to the radar display here. And with that, we are going to show you the storm that is in the northern part of Woodford County. We're having reports of baseball-sized hail now in Fleming County. So the storm has moved off to the northeast, and we're getting reports now of baseball-sized hail in Fleming County. Tornado on the ground, potentially from one of our storm trackers, Matt Fields. This came in about 5 minutes ago near exit 95, northern Madison County. That was that storm that we were showing you just a second ago. Yeah. Again, he's a storm tracker for us. We've known him for a long time. Again, we may have a potential tornado on the ground. He's taking cover in the basement. That storm was in northern Madison County. That storm is now, that's how fast it's moved, because you've got I-75 at the left side of your screen. That storm now is in northern Madison County, and that storm is pulling away. So that one's headed toward the southern part of Clark County, moving toward the Mountain Parkway. The Mountain Parkway there in Clark County is getting torrential rain at this point. Likelihood of getting some hail with that storm as well. So to help get you oriented, you've got the Mountain Parkway, you've got I-64 there at the top of your screen, and it's that area right south in here. That's northern Madison County. There's the southern part of Clark County. This storm, our storm tracker Matt Fields, that area of the storm right in there, he believes had a tornado on the ground just a couple of minutes ago, and he's from back here in I-75. So this is how far the storm has moved. You've got Highway 89 sitting out here just to the east of it. You've got the Mountain Parkway right here. You got Powell County, Clay City there. So the storm is working its way into the southern part of Clark County. It's going to be not far from Trapp again at this point. Southern Clark County may clip the northern part of Estill County. That'll be awfully close on that particular one, but it's that appendage hanging down right there, again, where we're seeing the potential for a tornadic storm. And again, our storm tracker there, Matt Fields, thinks there may have been one on the ground. He was already seeking shelter in his basement. Velocity display, you've got the reds and the greens right next to each other, so again, indicating the rotational up. Go ahead and let's bring it back out to the Anderson County storm, or what's now getting into Franklin County, Tom.
All right. Hey, I think Lindsay just told me they've had reports in Nashville of a storm over the arena symposium where the Lady Cats are playing, and they've told everybody to stay in the arena. So in addition to here down there, they're still having that rough ride as well.
Well, it's what we always advise folks to do, too. Once these storms are approaching, you stay in place. You don't try and venture out with these storms moving on through. So it's, the storm now in northern Anderson County, right along Highway 127. It's raining hard in Frankfort. Looks like, again, we're looking at that area right in there just now to the north of Lawrenceburg. You've got the bypass there that goes into downtown. So, again, we're sitting just north of that, where, again, the storm potentially tornadic. You've got the Kentucky River working its way right on through. You've got the community of Jet. You've got Duckers there, which is in northern Woodford County. You guys have likely got some hail ongoing with this storm. Nineveh Road, one of the areas that we're looking at very, very carefully. And it's in that right in there where, again, the storm, if it has a tornado to it, is likely where that is going to be at this point. The reds and greens indicating, again, we've got a mixing of the air, and the Weather Service radars are running behind just because of the speed of these storms. If they're moving 60 and 65 miles an hour, they are moving much faster than the Weather Service radars can keep up. So that's why we have the Max Track Live, which is literally as it's happening. You got another strong cell moving in along Paris Pike between Lexington and Paris. That's actually crossed into Bourbon County now, so it's along US 2768 southwest of Paris. North Middletown, that storm's going to pass just to your north. Hey, can we go up toward Fleming County?
Sure.
We're getting reports. We had reports of baseball-sized hail up in Fleming County. You got Moorfield there in Nicholas County. We're going to be right on the edge there. Got to probably go a little bit south. You got Flemingsburg right there, and then to the southern part of Fleming County. So it's going to be that part right there along the Licking River, where we are likely going to be seeing if this storm is producing the hail that it had, where that's going to be at this point. So again, you've got Milltown right there. Let's a little to the west of Hillsboro, where we're seeing that particular cell. Tom, we'll go ahead and let you reset everything.
All right. Go ahead and pop you down again and give you an idea of what's going on. Just within the state itself, we've had numerous tornado warnings as we've gone through the early afternoon, now the late afternoon. Any one of these cells has the possibility, in addition to the hail, of the chance of a tornado on the ground. Had multiple reports of them on the ground earlier out in Indiana and also western Kentucky. We've had a lot of reports of massive storms. Now we're dealing with our own here. This one across North Woodford County, if you're in the community of Midway, or just to the west of it, the storm that Bill was talking about coming out of now Lawrenceburg, you folks just about in the clear, but anywhere from Versailles through northern parts of Woodford County up towards Midway and Duckers, Right there, that black color, an indication of the possibility of some extremely strong updrafts and some larger hail. So northern Woodford County could be getting hammered with that as well. And on the back end of this, we've got that tornado warning that's in effect. You've got to watch out for that possibility of rotation, and as well, any one of these at any time could produce a tornado. So just to the west of Versailles now, around Lawrenceburg, where that storm dips around to the south there, just to the northeast of Lawrenceburg, now right on the county line. That's an area of concern. Also still tracking a storm that's coming out of what was in northern Madison County and is now cutting across eastern Clark County, heading to the south of Mount Sterling. So Jeffersonville, you're around it, but you see where that hook just kind of curves around on the back end of it, down towards North Garrett County and southeastern Clark County. A lot of hail and that potential right there of the possibility of a tornado as well.
We've got a new tornado warning that has come out. This one is going to be for Marion and Taylor counties. This is going to be in effect until 5:45. So why don't we switch over to because it's going to be right on the edge of our high definition display there. So we may have to switch over to a long pulse.
There you go.
And we'll get a good view of that particular storm. Again, new tornado warnings are coming out until 5:45 for Marion County as well as Taylor County. And these are new thunderstorms that are continuing to redevelop over similar areas that have seen storms already happen. So you've got Springfield here, you've got Lebanon, and it's going to be then back toward Campbellsville, where we are seeing, again, a potentially tornadic storm. And remember, these are moving northeast 55, 60, 65 miles an hour. So you are looking at these storms that will be, again, moving very quickly. So you folks in Mercer County and Boyle County, northern Casey County, be aware that you've got potentially tornadic storms sitting to your southwest. Although your counties aren't under warnings at this point, that can change very, very quickly. So from Springfield there, again, back toward Lebanon, there you've got Campbellsville. So there's your tornado warning. You can see the outline of it that we're talking about with the polygon. Just north of Campbellsville. So this warning is really more for Lebanon at this point. For you folks there, again, it's a tornado warning until 5:45. Again, severe weather is continuing for many communities around the area. We hope you took time before these storms hit to think about where your safe spots were, to be prepared for the storms. As you look at the bigger picture right now, include clustering of storms to the north. They're just now beginning to work their way into eastern Kentucky. You've got the Mountain Parkway there going through Powell County, and it's that storm right there in southern part of Clark County, extreme northern Estill, now really moving into Powell County there by Clay City. For you folks in Clay City, you need to get to your shelter now. This storm, we just saw some video came in from northern Madison County. That storm certainly had rotation with it and went through northern Madison County. You've got the Mountain Parkway, you've got Clay City. So again, we are looking at certainly damaging wind gusts as a potential, as well as large hail potential in addition to the tornado threat from this particular storm. Clay City and Stanton, you folks are the next ones in line for that particular cell as it works its way now into eastern Kentucky. You've got heavy rain, maybe some hail getting into the southern part of Montgomery County, Camargo and Jeffersonville. The storm has passed by Winchester. Switch sides on me.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it's all right. Hey, we've got this storm now, northern Woodford County, right along I-64. So from Midway up to the interstate, getting into the southern part of Scott County, right over Midway. You folks in Midway likely getting very heavy rain and hail as the storm arcs back toward the northern part of Woodford County. It's going to be not far from Three Chimneys. You see that little arcing right in there. So again, the potential does exist north of Versailles, where this storm could indeed be a tornado producer. There is a warning out for that storm at this point. The storm looks to be passing just south of Frankfort. So for you folks there, you're probably just getting some heavy rain with the core of the storm just now moving into the northern part of Woodford County. Duckers, you're still getting in on the heavy rain there at the Franklin and Woodford County lines. This storm is on a path that's going to take it into the northern part of Fayette County. We've got a line now that runs from Lawrenceburg, continuing then down toward Washington and Marion counties. Again, we have a new tornado warning up as you get down toward Lebanon there in Marion County. So again, the warnings keep continuing for us as we go through the latter part of this afternoon, as we go through 5:20 here. Things changed very quickly. Half hour ago, hardly any warnings, and then it just came one right after the other, and it's still continuing. We were far from this event being over. So new storms developing there. You see them in the northern part of Casey County, going there along Highway, I think it's 68, between Lebanon and Campbellsville, and then continuing up a Highway 55 towards Springfield. All these places, again, seeing severe weather at this point. This new storm is getting ready to move into Mercer County. So for you folks there, be aware. And again, look how quickly that storm in northern Casey County is developing. That's going to be right there at the Casey-Boyle County line. Then you get over toward Lake Harrington, Garrett, Mercer County. Again, for you folks there, that's going to be, at this point, just a garden variety storm. That one is not severe at this point, but we've got plenty more out there. Head on up toward the northern, big picture. Again, a lot of clustering to the north at this point, and then more supercells as we look to the south. Flemingsburg, there again, you're getting on the heavy rain and hail at this point. That then continues on. We're getting reports of tennis ball-sized hail. Tennis ball-sized hail. And that's from the storm that was in Anderson County. So it's this cell. Come on back. Then this would have come in a couple of minutes ago. So that's the storm that is now at the Woodford and Scott County lines. So again, near the community of Midway, this storm has a history of tennis ball-sized hail. So again, the large hail moving there along I-64.
Live picture of Henryville, Indiana.
Okay, we're one of the places that was hit earlier this afternoon. This is Henryville, Indiana. Wow. That is a community that has been devastated by one of the tornadoes that occurred today. And again, you see the damage. This is coming in from Wave.
This is a very good picture of the storm in Madison County.
Okay. We got a picture to show you also from the storm as it went through Madison County. Did you get the video I sent you?
Yes.
Okay. Is that being processed over, hopefully? Okay. We got video in from Madison County of what may have been the storm. We got the picture from Ashley Carter Wells. You guys got that in system or not? No. Okay, we'll look at it later. Again, as pictures come in, we'll present them to you. Let's keep with the live stuff right now with what's actually happening. And again, you're looking at Powell County, Montgomery County, you got Clark County right here, so it's where these three counties converge, where you're seeing, again, what was at one time a tornadic storm. Has the warning been extended into Powell County yet?
Let me look.
It certainly is a severe thunderstorm. We're still checking whether or not that storm remains potentially tornadic.
Yeah, Powell County until 5:45.
Okay, so it's a tornado warning for Powell County until 5:45. So again, for you folks in Stanton, Clay City, you folks there around Bethel, be ready to and be in your shelters now. The storm may be passing just north of Clay City at this point. Let's go ahead and highlight the warnings that we have on here. And these need to be, our update's coming in a little slow here this afternoon. We apologize for that. So as we're waiting for the warnings to update, we'll just tell you that, again, we do have the potential for severe thunderstorms over a pretty broad area. Tornadic thunderstorms remain a possibility as well. And you know, the best thing to do when something is not going, you should go with what works. That's the MaxTrack Live Doppler.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've got the picture in now. Let's go ahead and take a look at that as we reset everything here for you. This picture came in from Ashley Carter Wells. Wow. So that is the cell in northern Madison County. And that is certainly a wall cloud, a very low rotating wall cloud. So again, combine that with some of the video that we've seen come in. We more than likely had a tornado going through the northern part of Madison County. That was about 15, 20 minutes ago when that occurred. That's a cell that is now in Powell County. So that one is the one that remains potentially a tornadic storm. That's the one we're looking at right there on the MaxTrack Live. That is just south of Jeffersonville. That's going into the northern part of Powell County back towards Stanton. So again, that is one of the storms that does continue to be potentially tornadic for us as we go through the latter part of this afternoon. Tornado watch continues for most of the area until 9 for eastern Kentucky. That is going to be in effect until midnight tonight. Although the forward speed of this entire cluster seems to be accelerating. So as we look now, there you see the back edge of this is now running from about Lebanon to Springfield, then to Anderson County, on up toward Georgetown. So that again is looking like the back edge of a lot of the potential for the worst of the weather as the entire cluster begins to move rapidly eastward. In fact, we go to the MaxTrack 3D here, the big picture. And you see again that the main batch has passed by Louisville. They're done. You look around Bowling Green, we still have some very big thunderstorms continuing for those folks. And for us, again, this line of storms continues to push through. Again, tornadic storms do remain a possibility, and we'll come back in on the MaxTrack Live to what was likely the strongest of these storms, at least at this point. And this is the one that's going through the northern part of Woodford, the southern part of Scott, and now moving in on the northern part of Fayette County. And this storm is past Midway. It's going through the right around the bypass there, the south side of Georgetown. Again, this storm may have been briefly tornadic on its path through Anderson County. You see now the heavy rain and potentially some hail moving into the northern part of Fayette County. That's going to be up around the Horse Park, up there around Ironworks Pike. So again, for you folks there, you've got the core of this storm moving in on you now.
And a quick rundown of all the warnings that are out there as they stand. If you're just clicking us on, we've got tornado warnings. These are just tornado warnings for Bath County till 5:45. The same for Estill County. Now Marion County until 5:30, which is shortly there set to expire. Menifee County, Montgomery County, Powell County, Taylor, and Washington, and a lot of those have 5:30 to 5:45 expiration time, so we've got another 15-20 minutes on the majority of them.
All right, for the Bath County warning, it looks like it's going to be the southern part of Bath County from I-64 and southward. It's that storm. It's in northern Powell County, southern Clark County now. Again, southern part of Montgomery County now, moving along Highway 460. That storm is heading toward Menifee County and Frenchburg. So again, for you folks there, be aware that you have what is a potentially tornadic thunderstorm coming your way, and with that in mind, the potential does exist for these storms to drop a tornado with very little warning. We always advise you where your safe spot is. If you're not sure where your safe spot is, do this. We call it duck. This is how you find where your safe spot is. You go downstairs, you get to the lowest level you can. If you have a basement, you go to the basement. Otherwise, you just get to the ground floor. We are looking at you. They get under something sturdy. The sea and duck is center of the house. Use as many walls as you can as layers of protection. And finally, it's K, that's keep. You keep your head down, you keep away from doors and windows, sources of flying glass. So we are going to be advising you where to go in case you have tornadic weather coming towards you. We've got our sister station out of Indianapolis, WTHR. They are flying over southern Indiana where the tornadoes came through. These are the pictures coming in from WTHR out of Indianapolis. And you're looking at southern Indiana there and the damage that has taken place. That, you're again are looking at live pictures out of WTHR. I've actually flown in that helicopter. But again, you're looking at the severe damage that has occurred. And it looks like 3 dead in, what community is this? Henryville. It looks like Henryville, Indiana is where they are looking right now. And there, we just lost the live picture from WTHR out of Indianapolis. And so again, we've got everyone in here. We've got Lindsay, we've got Matt, we've got Tom back there behind the curtain. So this is an afternoon and an evening, which we've talked about now for a few days. The potential has been high for storms that can produce a lot of damage in a short period of time. So far, the history has been, for us, hail. And we've had reports of golf ball, tennis ball, baseball size hail. All of these are very damaging weather features. Tornado warnings continue. Tornado watch is up until 9 o'clock. The line of severe thunderstorms continues to accelerate eastward. It's now moving into the northern part of Fayette County. It's in Scott County. It's been going through the northern part of Woodford County. We're also looking at potentially tornadic storms coming out of Powell, going into Bath, as well as Menifee counties, and as well as Marion County and Taylor counties. These are all the places that we are continuing to track storms with the MaxTrack Live Doppler. Let's go ahead and take the MaxTrack Live here. And you can see the lines of storms that are out there. You're looking at a very strong storm, northern Fayette County, southern Scott County, and then you also are looking at the storms off to the east. Tom, you got?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and track some of these and give you an idea where they are. I was just looking at our feed as well. There's a report of some pretty significant but unverified damage out towards LaRue County. Had you guys heard about that? That's the same county, of course, that got hit twice in the same day back on Wednesday. They're saying significant damage. Route 61, which is right by the I-65 interchange. Debris and building materials on the road out there. So some of the storms that went through there earlier possibly running into some of that debris.
All right. Right now you're looking at the MaxTrack Live. We are focused on northern Fayette County with that particular cell. That's what it looks like on the radar display. Here's what it looks like from our WeatherBug camera live from St. Joseph Hospital looking back toward the north. And again, you see the darkening sky to the north and west. So that's that thunderstorm cell that we are looking at there. That storm certainly has the potential for damaging wind gusts as it really is beginning to sharpen up We are watching that storm also for the potential any rotation out of it, and that's one of the ones that we will continue to monitor. And yes, there's hail likely with that storm. That hail straddling the Scott-Fayette County line a little south of US 460. But again, damaging, that looks like it's trying to put together a nice gust front there, right along the leading flank there. That's getting across, say, Leestown Road, headed along about the north split there at I-75. In fact, can we get the traffic tracker from I-75, the north split? See if we can get that one called up for you, because that's going to be about where that storm is at this point. And again, strong damaging winds. As you see everything sharpen up like that, that's a sign that it's trying to put down what's essentially a gust front. And if that occurs, then you get very strong straight line winds as that storm comes across the northern part of Fayette County. You're looking there, that's the live picture from I-75. And again, right about where we're showing the storms in progress, everything seems to be moving along okay there at the interstate. We're probably about a mile or so away from where, when you look at this, the radar display right now, the cell itself is about a mile away, about a mile to the west of where we are looking at that. So I'm going to tell the folks back there in the control room, keep watching this shot over the next couple of minutes. And if you see things change on this, go ahead and take it back again. I suspect you'll see some pretty strong wind gusts occurring there over the next couple of minutes. So that could be a very interesting picture to look at as that cell comes across the northern part of Fayette County.
Got a call from a lady out in Trapp near Winchester in Clark County. Said she had some golf ball sized hail that she, after the storm, went out and got, and she says she has proof of it. It's in her fridge. So, yeah, we've got storms in addition to the hail, which Bill said has been really one of the bigger issues here. Still tornado warnings ongoing as you get out to around Frenchburg. You can see just to the east now of Jeffersonville, that purplish black color, an indication of those very strong updrafts and the possibility of some hail with these storms. Coming up on the western edge of Menifee County. Some of these storms taking very similar tracks to the ones that we had to deal with on Wednesday through some of the same communities. So folks that are already worn out, stressed out from having to deal with that midweek. We're now back into it around Frenchburg. So as that storm rockets off to the northeast, folks, just to the north of Frenchburg, you want to watch out for that.
We're talking about the I-75 traffic cam. Take a look at it now, how things have changed over the last couple of minutes. Very heavy rain has now arrived there, and again, it's hard without leaves on the trees to gauge if there's any wind going along with that. But again, that was what we were watching there on the MaxTrack Live Doppler. You see again the change that occurred over the last couple of minutes as that cell has begun to arrive in the northern part of Fayette County, right there at the north split of I-75 and I-64. So that is, again, one of the areas that we continue to watch. We do have other severe storms that are continuing to be ongoing across the area.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and check those out as well, because in addition to what's going on across northern Fayette County, still a number of warnings out. We'll take you down to the south and show you what's going on around Danville. You folks have the appearance of what is a number of severe thunderstorm warnings covering multiple counties in its breadth there. So from Harrodsburg running down through Lancaster and also Danville north of Stanford. Right there, some torrential rain, also the possibility of some damaging wind. And as we zoom it back out again and take you off to the east, the main storms as far as the biggest threat for the possibility of tornadic development still look to be a little bit out to the east, the one that we're tracking that's heading out through Frenchburg. And as you get into the western edge now of Menifee County, you can see that one continues to just get right to the west of Frenchburg. Getting reports out of Powell County, the dispatchers saw some rotation as the storm passed through, and also got some reports of quarter-size hail that put that right up to around severe levels.
So the severe thunderstorm threat continues. Tornadoes become a threat with any of these storms as well. Tornado watches do continue until 9 o'clock for the I-75 corridor and points west, and until midnight for areas in eastern Kentucky, although given the speed that these storms seem to have acquired, the eastward movement really has accelerated. I would suspect at this point that we won't be carrying that threat for severe weather completely through the night tonight. That being said, for the next couple of hours, we do continue with the threat for damaging winds, large hail. Large hail really seems to be the key player with a lot of these storms, but our tornado warning does continue, and that is until 6:15 for Bath, Elliott, Menifee, Montgomery, Morgan, Powell, and Rowan counties. Just a couple of minutes ago, we were continuing to track what may be a storm producing baseball-sized hail, and this is, again, just passed by Stanton at this point. In fact, it's all the way almost to Frenchburg at this point. So, again, things are moving close to 60 miles an hour, if not faster, with many of these thunderstorms. We did have a report of a funnel cloud near Jeffersonville and also near Clay City with that cell that is moving along now Highway 460.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, so again, we're what looks to be developing a pretty good hook echo south of Frenchburg. That's going to be still south of US 460. Still fairly broad. Well, that's a good meso low. We'll see if that tightens up. And again, with the velocity displays, the reds and the greens next to each other, never a good thing. And that's what we are seeing now crossing the Menifee-Powell County lines. So for you folks there, again, the threat is very real. And what we always advise you to do is when we're telling you to get to your safe spot, this is what we want you to do. It's called duck. And again, we always remind you what is really gratifying going out to the schools now, and the kids know what duck is. You know, we start talking about it, they know what to do. They get downstairs, they get to the basement or the ground floor. They get under something sturdy. Big heavy table, staircase, something that can protect you from flying debris. Center part of your house, put as many walls as you can between you and the outside. Use those as blockers, as layers of protection. And finally, the K is keep. Keep your head down, keep away from doors and windows, sources of flying glass. You do these things, you can find where your safe spot is in the event of severe weather. If you have power outages, these are the numbers to call if you're a customer of Kentucky Utilities. The number is 1-800-981-0600. If you're with the Bluegrass Energy folks, 1-888-655-4243. Or if the Jackson Rural Electric Co-op, 1-800-262-7480. Again, those are the numbers to call if you are encountering power outages. Those are the folks that can help you get your power back on. You look at the big picture. Here is the line of thunderstorms as it continues to go through, and really what had been a fairly slow-moving line of storms through most of the afternoon over the last hour and a half has really begun to accelerate eastward. And so you see it's cleared the Louisville metro, it's cleared Cincinnati, it's also gone ahead and is now working its way through the Lexington area.
And also down to the south, popping the MaxTrack live back up, watching this cell that's coming out of Lincoln County out towards Danville, just to your east, and coming across Lancaster, central Garrett County. Tornado warning up for that extends out into western parts of Madison County. If you're in and around Lancaster, especially communities south of that, as this storm is tracking off to the north and the east, that's the area that you're going to want to be on the lookout for. So as you get towards Paint Lick, coming across 27 there just to the north of Stanford, that's an area off to the southeast. And of course, that stronger cell that's still impacting folks out towards Menifee County. That one continues with tornado warnings. You see a cluster of severe thunderstorm warnings off to the north. That storm cutting right across central parts of Menifee County through Frenchburg, just to the north of Frenchburg, likely getting some big-time hail. And as well, right on the south side there, where you see that little almost curlicue look coming towards Denniston. It's actually on the south end of one of the warning boxes there. That's an area as well towards Menifee County to be concerned about.
Let's head back to the west. Let's go back to the storm that is in Garrett and Lincoln County. That is a tornado warning for Boyle, Garrett, Lincoln, Madison County. That's going to be in effect until 6 o'clock. And it's that storm there right at the southern edge of Boyle County, the northern part of Lincoln County. That's headed right toward Lancaster. So again, for you folks in Lancaster, you need to be in shelter now. The storm is on a path that will take it toward Paint Lick, Kirksville, in the western parts of Madison County. This is an area that saw a storm go by a little while ago. This is north of Stanford. So again, if you're in Stanford, the storm is passing by just to your north. But we're talking about the folks there in the northern part of Lincoln County. Go ahead and run the time of arrival. Stanford, again, passing north of there. Logantown, you look there towards, say, Judson at 549. Again, Hyattsville, you're looking at some of the smaller communities. Lancaster, 548. So again, about 5-6 minutes away from you at this point. Some of the other communities, you can see them as they scroll across your screen. As you're looking at the times of arrival, Kirksville comes in at around 5:56, so that's in about another 15 minutes or so. Duncannon, you're getting there into the middle part of Madison County with that particular cell. So again, the storm is headed toward Lancaster. For you folks in Lancaster, you've got heavy rain ongoing now. For you folks in Lancaster, you guys need to be in your safe spot, in your shelter now. That goes for anyone in the northern part of Lincoln County, north of Stanford as well. Let's go ahead and show you the pictures that we have in. Golf ball size hail came in out of Madison County. Wow. Again, you see the right there along with the pictures. So you see the strong one from Garrett County, one of the storms that has gone by. Again, we thank the folks. Once it is safe, you send the pictures in. Don't do it as the storm is ongoing. You want to make sure you stay safe. That is a very impressive cloud out of Jessamine County. Not sure which storm it was. We've had a couple that have gone through Jessamine County. Again, you see the billowing cumulus cloud there. That picture is, I believe, from Matt Fields. I'm not positive on that. But again, you see what is a well-defined wall cloud, likely a funnel cloud from Madison County there. Again, it's going to be probably northern part of Madison County. Again, another well-defined wall cloud. That is an impressive looking feature. You folks should have been in shelter instead of taking those pictures. Again, we still advise you, and again, that one is exceedingly dramatic, again, from northern Madison County. When it is safe, you take the pictures and you send them in to us. Don't put yourself in harm's way. We can't emphasize that enough, that we want you to be safe. We're always appreciative of the pictures that you send us, but again, we don't want you to be endangering yourself. That's why over the last couple of days we've been advising you how to be prepared, how to be ready, how to be safe in the event these storms go by. And again, we've had numerous reports of funnel clouds now. You saw the dramatic pictures there with Madison County. You folks there in Lancaster, you've got a nasty storm coming your way, and you guys need to be in your shelters now in the northern part of Garrett County as well. That's going to be headed toward Madison County. For you folks there in Kirksville and Paint Lick, be aware that storm's heading your way too, and that's eventually heading into Madison County. We are continuing to track the storm that's in Menifee County, that's headed toward Denniston. So again, these are all the storms that are out there. Keep in mind, you see everybody working behind me. Everybody is gathering data. Matt, what were you just pointing at there? Okay. The storm that he was somewhere around Garrett County is where he was looking. We've got Tom Ackerman, we've got Lindsay Schwarzwalder, we've got Matt Ortiz, we've got the entire staff in here for you this evening as we track these potentially dangerous thunderstorms as they move across Kentucky. Let's go back to the Max Track Live Doppler. And wow, what was that one you just had up there? No, go ahead with the radar picture you just had, whatever was just up there a second ago.
That was Menifee County.
Wow.
Yeah, on the back end of it right there.
Yeah, for you folks there just east of Frenchburg, that's Denniston, along Highway 460, you folks, my goodness, you guys need to be in shelter right now, and obviously you should have been there a few minutes ago with that cell. So that one, again, that is as good a hook echo as you are ever going to see. Right in there as they were drawing that on, you got the hail core back here, back toward Frenchburg. This is all wrapping in just like that. So again, along Highway 460, this is, right, that dark line you see there, that's the Menifee-Morgan County line. So that's the area that we're talking about. You've got Highway 460 working its way right through there. The community of Denniston, that is about as classic a representation of a tornadic storm as you will see. Whether or not it's actually hitting the ground, it's going to be close, but at the very least, you've got extremely strong rotation in that cloud. You've got a wall cloud certainly hanging low from that cloud. Whether or not it's actually reaching the surface, well, that we can't completely tell you with the radar. All we can tell you is what the tendency, what the potential of that storm is. But when you look at the velocity displays there, you are seeing the reds and the greens next to each other, and the bright reds and the bright greens, indicating very fast movement toward and away from the radar sites. And so with that in mind, you've got almost 100 miles per hour of shear right there that you're looking at. When you've got the stuff going away at close to 60, moving toward at close to 50, you can do the math on that. And again, that's near the community of Ezell, near the community of Denniston. You folks need to be in shelter. This storm is on a path that will take it along and north of 460. Heaven forbid it gets back to West Liberty, where, of course, we're still cleaning up damage from Wednesday's storm. But again, that cell right over Denniston, that is one that you folks need to be in shelters now. Well, I'll get out of the way. I'll let you see the storm times as that works its way through. You see Artville 551, Ezell 551, and that storm then works its way eastward. Some of the smaller communities there as you get into Morgan County. And finally, the storm will at some point be somewhere near West Liberty sometime during the 6 o'clock hour. So that's that cell. Let's go back to the cell in Garrett County. It sounds like it's raining awfully hard here. We get the losing a little bit of a satellite feed. We are looking at
right through central Garrett County up towards Richmond.
We're looking at the heavy rain there in Madison County. That storm again was potentially tornadic. It had a warning that was issued for it. So you got that storm. It's moved out of northern Lincoln. It's moved out of Boyle County. We've got heavy rain right now in Lexington as well. You see that storm there. Do we have a warning on the Fayette County?
It doesn't look like it. It was severe thunderstorm, northern Fayette County.
Severe thunderstorm warning, northern Fayette County. We were looking at that on the WeatherBug camera a second ago. And right now, let's bring that back up for the WeatherBug. Yeah, let's go to the WeatherBug camera. Well, this is what we're looking at in Fayette County right now.
It goes until 6 o'clock.
All right, so we got the severe thunderstorm warning until 6. There is your live look in Fayette County. As we've got a severe thunderstorm moving through at this point. Heavy rain, the potential for hail with this storm. That one is at the very back edge of all the severe stuff. And so again, that's the look that you're getting from our WeatherBug camera live from St. Joseph Hospital. It's like a little hail that's passing in front of the camera lens as well. So again, that is the strong severe thunderstorm that is ongoing in Fayette County at this point. And again, this is a storm that is potentially severe. We do have the severe thunderstorm warning that continues until 6 o'clock.
Okay, we got a tornado warning for Bourbon and Nicholas County through 6:15.
Is that severe thunderstorm or tornado?
Tornado.
Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom in on that. We just had a report in one Kentucky fatality now coming out of southern Kenton County. New tornado warnings also for Adair County. So these are the new tornado warnings that are coming in. Tornado warning for Bourbon, Nicholas, and that is going to be in effect until 6:15.
I've lost the ability to zoom, so we may need to switch over to the 3D.
Okay, we can do that. Let's look here on our other MaxTrack display, and as we do so, in fact, we can go to the WeatherBug camera again and show you what's going on. Just go ahead and reset our main radar.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to reboot.
We took a power hit a while ago.
Pictures of Lawrenceburg.
Okay, from Lawrenceburg, from Anderson County. Here we go. Again, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, this is obvious rotation that was taken over 12 Oaks subdivision. Brian Fleck sent that picture into us. That is an absolutely classic looking funnel cloud, wall cloud combination. That's the storm that went into the northern part of Woodford County as well. That storm is what has gone through the northern part of Fayette County. So again, you're looking at these storms. Why do we keep issuing or we're reporting on the tornado warnings? Because you see images like this. There may or may not be a touchdown with that at this point, but what we are seeing are storms that are capable of dropping these tornadoes literally at any point in their life cycles. And so you have to have these warnings out in advance so that you folks can know when to get into shelter, get ready for these storms to come on by. Again, great pictures, dangerous pictures, great pictures though. Nonetheless, we prefer you to wait until the storms have gone by. That's a picture from Lexington, again, of a descending wall cloud and rain shaft that you see there. This one also from Fayette County, again, just an impressive updraft, it looks like at that point, that you are seeing with these thunderstorms as they have worked their way through Fayette County. So again, that's from the south side of Lexington. That's like the storm that went through about an hour ago as we saw that one develop rapidly across Jessamine and Fayette counties. Right now we're getting reports that for you folks in Menifee County, that Menifee County dispatch has been literally overwhelmed or is being overwhelmed with the number of calls going in. We were showing you that storm that was over in Denniston. Again, if you have an emergency, then you get a hold of the folks at dispatch. If you are just there to ask questions, hold off a little bit, wait for the storms to pass. But again, if you have an actual emergency, that's when you call your folks at the local county dispatch. We had a problem earlier with even Lexington's 911s being overwhelmed earlier with the storms. Phone calls are coming in back here all over the place. That's what I can hear going on. How are we doing on the radar? Almost up?
Almost there.
Almost there. What we'll do is go over to the MaxTrack 3D. And in fact, we'll hit this button right here, and there you go. And you see the picture that we are showing you. Again, the back edge of these storms is just now coming up on I-75. We're getting pretty close to it. And so we will see our conditions, at least in the Lexington area, begin to improve shortly, although to the southwest, the threat for severe weather is going to be continuing for a while as well. So that's the view off of the MaxTrack 3D. And now we're going to bring you back live onto the MaxTrack Live. And when we do that, you can see that we're looking at that new cluster of storms to the southwest. That, again, has tornado warnings that are issued for it. We're getting, again, reports of large hail coming in from many, many places. Baseball-sized hail came out of Hart County, so that's off to our southwest. Madison County Emergency Manager reports hail the size of eggs That was 2 miles west of Richmond. That occurred a couple of minutes ago. In fact, we've got pictures of very large hail that came in out of Lawrenceburg. That's better than golf ball, a little bit better than golf ball size that you're seeing there in Anderson County. So the characteristic of a lot of these storms has become hailers. They are hail-producing storms, but also hail-producing storms, when you have updrafts that strong to produce ice that big, can indeed produce tornadoes with very little warning. Again, we've shown you the other pictures that have been coming in. That's the storm West Liberty. Wow, here we go again for you folks in Morgan County. So again, you're seeing again the classic hook as you're looking there in Morgan County. This is what's come through. You get another picture of the golf ball size hail out of Madison. Let's go back to our radar display. So here we go. You look at that storm. We're zoomed in on Morgan County. You see West Liberty. So again, West Liberty, which was hit hard by an EF2 tornado on Wednesday. We have our second cell in a couple of days coming into Morgan County. You've got US 460 going right through here. You've got Ezell right here. It is just north of Ezell at this point in Morgan County. Again, the hook presentation about as classic as it gets. You've got your hail core here. You've got everything wrapping in right like that. You've got State Highway 772 right there, and that's going to be north of 460 along Highway 772. You've got the community of West Liberty here. With any luck, this goes north of West Liberty, but it's close enough right now for you folks in West Liberty. You guys need to be in your shelters waiting for this storm to come by, and again, hopefully this will miss you to the north. Can we get a road right here, whatever one that one is? That's going to be to the northwest of Ezell, whichever highway that is. Tom?
I was talking to Matt, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Where are you looking? Right here?
Yeah, the one right there. Yep. That's 772. Okay, so again, along Highway 772, northwest of or northeast of Ezell, you folks need to be in shelter as that storm is coming right along Highway 772. Hail to the north, wrapping into the south and southwest of that. Let's come back to the storms now that are back toward the I-75 corridor.
Hey, they've got a report on the ground of a tornado on the ground in Frenchburg. Where'd that come through from, Matt? Call center?
Yeah, right there.
Okay, so the storm potentially tornadic.
Possibly, yeah, unconfirmed.
And we also have that storm coming in now into Richmond.
Right, here we go, the Max Track Live, getting it queued up for you. So, yeah, you've got storms stretching from Danville off through Stanford, Lancaster, some of the heaviest of it now right on top of Lancaster, and it looks like that tornado warning has been extended all the way out through eastern parts of Madison County, so right along the interstate, and we're still just coming up on 6 o'clock, so rush hour traffic heavy along 75, and a lot of folks that maybe not aware this is happening are driving right into this. So if you're anywhere within central Garrett County, and also you can see the cell rolling northeast just to the south of Richmond. I'll zoom in a little bit more right along the interstate there between Berea and Richmond down towards Kirksville. This is the area that you need to watch out for torrential rain, plenty of lightning, and as our live Max Track sweep rolls on by, the potential for some hail out of this one, although it's not as obvious as some of the other ones, but still any one of these storms could possibly become tornadic, as we've seen some of the reports, the incredible pictures that we're getting in here. Quick rundown on the warnings as they stand, just to get you up to speed. It's good to just go through the list every once in a while because they've been updated. A lot of them have been extended. We've got Adair County, Bath County, Bourbon County. These are all tornado warnings. Adair, Bath, Bourbon, Carter, Clark, Elliott, Fleming, Garrett, Johnson, Knox, Lewis, Madison, Mason, McCreary, Menifee, Morgan County, Nicholas County, Robertson, Rowan, Taylor, Whitley, and Wolf with tornado warnings. So it's pretty much if you've got a storm that's popping anywhere in your vicinity, you've got to treat it as a potentially tornadic storm just due to the environment that we've been in, the setup that we've been under that we prepped you for earlier this morning, and now is becoming realized. A lot of the storms, kind of that back edge of the arc, it seems to be clearing from Cynthiana down through Lexington and Harrodsburg. So the threat is now shifting more into an eastern Kentucky threat for these storms. I want to pop it back over to the National Weather Service radar out of Jackson. That report of a potential tornado on the ground in Frenchburg, and just look at the back end of that storm coming through West Liberty. Of course, we've got to wait a little bit for the data to update via the National Weather Service, but this is Jackson's radar, and it's that classic hook on the back end just coming into the west of West Liberty. These are some areas that were harder hit from the storms that came through earlier in the week, midweek on Wednesday. So if you are in West Liberty, you need to go ahead and take shelter, wait for the storm to pass through, and get a quick storm track on it for you to give you an idea where it's heading. We're talking about 26 by about 5:55, Woodbend by about 5:56, and this particular cell is moving off to the east-northeast, and they've been moving 60, maybe 70 miles per hour.
We've also had reports coming in now from West Liberty, funnel cloud, a public report of a funnel cloud near West Liberty. That's in Morgan County. Again, that's a public report of a funnel cloud near West Liberty. So that's, again, one of the things that is, and given the radar presentation, you certainly can't argue with that public report, again, coming in from folks in Morgan County. Again, considering a lot of folks there are still cleaning up, you hope that ends up passing by just to the north or dissipates before arriving. But again, for you folks in West Liberty, you need to be in your shelters at this point. You need to be there right now. Again, the characteristic of many of these storms is they become hailers. Reports from areas around Junction City and Boyle County of hail golf ball size. We've been showing you the pictures of other golf ball size hail that's come in. We've had hail reports up to the size of eggs. There's a baseball size hail out of Anderson County. So for you folks in Lawrenceburg, that's what you saw come through. That's the kind of hail that can really produce some significant damage. Again, more hail, large hail coming out of Anderson County from these storms. We've had an unconfirmed report of what may be a high school, or at least reports coming in Louisville being hit, and we don't know which one yet. Cruiser window in Kirksville got knocked out by the storm when it went through. But again, these storms are accelerating pretty rapidly off to the east. When you're looking at the big picture here, Lexington, the west side of Lexington, Georgetown, Frankfort, Lawrenceburg, Harrodsburg, Versailles, Nicholasville, you folks are done. We're pretty much at Cynthiana. The danger looks to have passed now. Where we are still in danger from these storms, Danville, Richmond, Winchester, Carlisle. You get up toward Owingsville, Moorhead, Irvin. Take a look at that storm in the eastern part of Madison County. That's right at the edge of what was a tornado warning.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that has not been extended eastward. But you see likely some hail coming in toward Waco. The storm is around Duncannon. Again, the storm circulation is not far from Duncannon, right there where you see the split off of 421 and 25 in central Madison County. New severe thunderstorms, again, remain possible, especially off to the east. Tornado warning now. Adair, Casey, Russell counties. That is going to be in effect until 6:30 Eastern time. Again, that's going to be a 6:30 Eastern time, 5:30 Central time tornado warning for Adair, Casey, and Russell counties. So that is, again, one of the storms that we are tracking right there, and that one is going through the southwest.
Yeah, and right here we've got it zoomed in to show you where it is going to run off into the east, clipping southern Casey County, northern Russell County, and it's just at the western edge of Adair County, so right where our viewing area begins. And you can see the core, that black-looking core of the storm, the potential for some hail. And, of course, as you get onto the southern end of that storm would be that chance for some tornadic development. So the tornado warning out. Adair County as well, the storm rolling off to the northeast. And, again, between about 60 to 70 miles per hour with these storms fairly consistently. So if you're in and around Columbia, the worst of the heavy rain and potential hail is going to hit you. But on the more southern end of Adair County there, just to the south of you, that's where the possibility of maybe some rotation and a possible tornado would exist. So folks anywhere within the county need to take the appropriate precautions.
All right, and again, reports are coming in now of all kinds of damage from all over Kentucky. Again, you've been sending in your pictures to help kind of put things into perspective. We're going to send it over to Nancy and Kevin.
All right, thank you, Bill. Indeed, damage reports have been coming in. This is a storm that is hitting many places. No one particular region affected here tonight, but many places suffering a lot of damage today.
All started down near the Gulf, as Bill has been telling us for the last couple of days, swept up through Alabama, death and destruction all along that path, all the way up into southern Indiana, which was hit particularly hard. We've been told that the town of Marysville is gone. tremendous amount of damage in Henryville, where the junior-senior high school has been destroyed. That was confirmed by our sister station in Louisville, Wave 3.
And 3 confirmed dead
And
in
3
Indiana
confirmed dead
as well.
so far, yeah. 1 in, southern Kenton County here in Kentucky. The other deaths in southern Indiana. It has been as unbelievable as it looked on the radars, and with all of the warnings, we can only hope that we knew it was coming and everyone was prepared. Let's send it back over now to Bill Mack.
All right, and with the storms that have been out there, we are continuing to track everything that's out there. The good news, if you're trying to find your silver lining, is that for the northwestern third of the area, and that's Lexington, Georgetown, Frankfort, Versailles, Lawrenceburg, places that have been hit pretty hard, you may even see the sun coming out right now. The worst of these storms are over. That being said, we still have dangerous weather ongoing for folks to the south and east, as tornado warnings do continue for Taylor County, for Casey County, for Russell County. Again, all of these are under tornado warnings. You folks in West Liberty, in Morgan County, you have tornado warnings ongoing as well, and all of those storms are, again, potentially dangerous. We've told you time and again how to be in your safe spots.
Got a report from law enforcement out of West Liberty of a tornado possibly on the ground, and right there you can see from that presentation. Wow.
I mean, how rare is a tornado in Morgan County to begin with, and now the potential for 2 of them here in 2 days is nothing short of amazing. Moving east around 55 miles an hour, Kentucky State Police confirmed a tornado on the ground. The storm was located near Liberty Road, in West Liberty, and moving east at around 45 miles an hour. All right, we'll send it back over to Kevin and Nancy with a report from Madison County.
All right, Bill, thank you. Yeah, we've got LEX18's Jennifer Hoff is down there in Madison County. You saw a picture of a funnel cloud earlier from northern Madison County. Jen, what's happening where you are?
The hail just ended here. We are off of exit 87 off of Interstate 75. It was about pea-sized hail that was falling. The sky real dark right now. One of my sources with Kentucky State Police has reported that its units have spotted a tornado off highways 954 and 52, but they're not sure of the damage, and that is Garrett County. And then he said it had moved into Kirksville, and they were reporting some busted windows in some of their cruisers. Of Kirksville, of course, another town that had been hit with tornadoes in the past. So right now, though, like Bill said, it's lightening up here. That hail came through real quickly, so we're just keeping our eyes to the sky here and see what's coming through, Kevin and Nancy.
Thank you, Jennifer. But now we need to go back to Chief Meteorologist Bill Mack.
And we are continuing to track new thunderstorm development. We've again told the folks who are out of danger, but folks do remain in danger. And we've had new tornado warnings that have come out. Of course, we're tracking what may be a tornado on the ground in West Liberty. We've had that Kentucky State Police report. There you see that, again, classic radar presentation. And again, ground confirmation coming in from the Kentucky State Police. They said that there was a tornado on the ground near Liberty Road there in West Liberty. Where else are we looking at? And that's headed up toward Crockett up there in the northeastern part of Morgan County. Let's go back to the west now because a new tornado warning has been issued. This one is for Garrett County as well as for folks in, is it Garrett and Madison on this one? I'll check it here. Garrett, Lincoln County until 6:30. So again, we're looking at another storm near Stanford that is capable. It's all gone past Stanford already. And there you see again the warning just from Lancaster southward there in Garrett County. The potentially tornadic storm was not far from Stanford, but it looks like it's moved northeast of Stanford now. For you folks in southern part of Garrett County, you get out there toward you folks out there along Highway 52. Again, be aware, it looks like along and just south of Highway 52, and then heading to the south and southeast of Lancaster. Again, this is a new tornado warning that has come out, and this is going to be in effect until 6:30 for you folks in Garrett and Lincoln County. Toward Berea. So again, you folks in Berea may not have much going on right now. Be prepared. In the next few minutes, you may be advised to head to your shelters as the storm is coming across southern Garrett County at this point. So we are tracking, again, numerous cells. Large hail has been a common thread of many of these storms, but also the potential for damaging winds. We're now getting reports of softball-sized hail near the community of Bengal. I don't know if that's in Greene County. Is that Taylor County, Nancy? That may be in Taylor County. Again, softball-sized hail is being reported coming out of the community of Bengal, which may be in Taylor County. And that storm is moving east at 55 miles an hour. There have only been about a dozen or so reports of softball-sized hail ever in Kentucky. We had that huge hailstorm that came through about 10 years ago that went into Laurel County and went also through Marion County. So that, again, is an exceedingly rare event. Golf ball-sized hail near Columbia being reported as well with these storms as they continue working their way to the east. Law enforcement again reports tornado being reported by officers of law enforcement officers near West Liberty. The report we're seeing here is officers in the vehicle that were hit by a tornado. We'll have to get confirmation on that, but that's again crossing on one of our servers here. So again, that's in West Liberty where there may be some law enforcement officials involved.
Yeah, and we've got you zoomed in on the storm right here over West Liberty. You can still see that pronounced hook on the back end of the storm. Now the worst of it appears to be clearing West Liberty, but folks out in the eastern parts of the county heading in your direction. And we're going to toss it over to Nancy and Kevin for more information.
We've also gotten reports that there is extensive damage in northern Kentucky, particularly Grant County, the Dry Ridge area. Multiple reports of damage, reports of injuries, though not confirmed. Trees down, lines down, roofs ripped off. Those are some of the early reports coming in. We have Courtney Fisher there on the ground live by phone now. Courtney, what are you seeing? What have you heard from Grant County?
Yeah, Nancy, we just got off of the Crittenden exit, and traffic from all lanes, all areas, all directions at a complete standstill right now. I'm looking at a mobile unit set up by Kentucky State Police, also several what appears to be ambulances. I'm also seeing a gas station right now that appears the roof has been blown off. There's police tape around it. A fire engine just passed us. We are sitting here like everybody else, just trying to get to an area where there is a lot of damage, but the stoplights are out. It seems to be very calm right now. State police are out here working the traffic. We still don't have any information on confirmed injuries, but again, we have gotten several reports from people in Grant County that said they know a lot of homes have been damaged and injuries as well. So, of course, we'll keep you updated as soon as we get that information, Nancy.
All right, Courtney Fisher, thank you.
Courtney Fisher in Grant County. And just a little quick perspective here on how bad things were in northern Kentucky. At one point, the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky Airport asked everyone in the airport to head to the basement. That's how bad the storm was up in northern and northwestern Kentucky. Let's go back to Tom Ackerman now for the latest warnings and watches. Tom?
Yeah, I got our eye on the one that's running across central Garrett County through Richmond and also towards Irvin. Ton of lightning out as you get into Estill County, and the tornado warning does continue. So folks in and around Berea, as you heard Bill talking about earlier, right along 75, that's an area where you're going to want to go ahead and get down into your shelter as the storm rolls by. Here comes our Max Track live sweep to give us the latest updated data. And in addition to that, the hail core just to the southeast of Lancaster there, that's a possibility as well. Some larger hail coming in. And then just down towards Berea, the potential, if it is tornadic, could be coming in your direction.
We are tracking all of these thunderstorms as they continue working their way to the east. And again, the threat is there for large hail. Again, the hail reports of golf ball, baseball, softball size hail have all been coming in. A report of trees down now in McCreary County from the storms. We are looking at these storms as they continue moving to the east. West Liberty looks to be an area that was seeing another round of storms coming through. In fact, that storm may indeed be tornadic. And in fact, we've had reports of tornadic weather with perhaps law enforcement being involved near West Liberty. And that storm continues with that classic look. You folks in Crockett getting there in the eastern part of Morgan County, that is an area where you folks should have been in shelter 5 minutes ago. You need to be there now. Elk Fork, the storm is moving right in on you at this point. So again, we're looking in the eastern part of Morgan County, almost identical path to the storm that went through on Wednesday. Seems to be repeating into the same area again. Again, we continue a tornado warning also for Adair, Casey, and Russell counties. Multiple roofs have been damaged in Barron County near Glasgow from this storm, and it is working its way eastward. So again, that storm that you see going through Greene County, Adair County, and now getting toward the northern part of Russell County, that is, again, a potentially tornadic storm between Columbia and Jamestown. Russell Springs, for you folks there along Highway 127, getting toward Lake Cumberland. This is going to be a little north of Lake Cumberland. Again, Russell Springs, maybe more than Jamestown at this point. You see Joppa there in Adair County, moving just a little south of the Parkway. That again is a potentially tornadic storm that is on its way toward Russell Springs at this point. So again, for you folks there, you're under a tornado warning. You need to be in your shelters now. The path of that will take it toward, you see Windsor there at the bottom, right below the banner there. Windsor is in Casey County. For you folks there, again, that's why the tornado warning is extended into southern Casey County as well. The storm itself still back in Adair County, working its way across Russell County and on its way toward the southern part of Casey County. You saw Russell Springs 6:17 as the time of arrival, so that's in the next 5 to 6 minutes or so from that potentially tornadic thunderstorm, and one of the ones that we have been warning for you as we've gone through time. The tornado warning for Garrett, Lincoln County has been canceled, so that storm is no longer tornadic. But we do continue tracking other storms. We are now issuing tornado warnings for Estill, Jackson, Lee, Menifee, Morgan, Powell, and Wolf. Again, that's a whole slew of them. Estill, Jackson, Lee, Menifee, Morgan, Powell, and Wolf counties. This is a new tornado warning until 7 o'clock. Again, we're seeing storms capable of producing tornadoes about 8 miles west of Irvine, moving east at close to 65 miles an hour. Significant damage in downtown West Liberty. The courthouse has been damaged. People may be trapped inside. There appear to be injuries. This is just coming across on our chat with the National Weather Service. So again, we will work on confirmation of that. Hopefully the folks in the news just heard that. Again, we're looking at, potentially some damage again, and maybe significant damage in West Liberty in Morgan County.
And the threat continues as you get down to Madison County. That's where we've got the Max Track Live Doppler queued up for you to show you the round of storms. It runs all the way from now east central Garrett County, coming up on 75, still Berea. You folks very much in an area of big time threat. We'll just go ahead and pop you out and run the storms as they head east, because again, any one of these could be packing large hail and potentially tornadic. So the tornado watch, or the tornado warnings, I should say, extend out through Irvine. Ravenna, you folks getting hit pretty hard, and then as you head out towards Slade and eventually out into Campton, I'll zoom out and give you a little more perspective here, and you can see how they're running. Boy, right through Madison County, as if you haven't taken enough hits already. The storm just getting up along 75, so again, we're getting in another one of those issues where you're going to have torrential rain, the possibility of some pretty big hail. And right on the southwestern side, the southern side of the storm, the potential coming in even closer to Berea on the Max Track Live Doppler. The possibility of a tornado sounded very much like we had one go through West Liberty, and just pretty much any one of these storms you got to take very seriously.
Yeah, our news folks are working on confirmation of that report that we just passed along to you of significant damage in the community of West Liberty. That, again, a town that was hit last Wednesday, just 2 days ago, by an EF2 tornado. We've been tracking what appears to be just an absolute classic supercell signature, and that, again, tornado producing more than likely as that storm went through Menifee County and then into Morgan County. That storm is now beginning to work its way out of Morgan County, headed over into the far eastern parts of Kentucky, and hopefully that storm will continue working east and away, may clip the northern part of Johnson County. We are continuing with a new tornado warning for Garrett and Madison County until 6:45. This is a new tornado warning for Garrett and Madison County. This is going to be in effect until 6:45. Again, everything is indicating that the storm would be capable of producing a tornado coming out of the southern part of Garrett County. This does include Berea. So again, for you folks in Berea, we were advising you a couple of minutes ago, be prepared to go to your shelter. Now is the time. Southern part of Madison County, for you folks around Berea over toward Big Hill, you guys need to be getting into shelter now as this storm approaches. This is a new tornado warning for Garrett County and Madison County that is in effect until 6:45.
In addition, as you head out to the east, we've got Irvine getting hit pretty hard. This seems to be the hot spot at the moment as you get out towards central Estill County. If you're within Irvine or anywhere within the county at this point, obviously getting hammered with some heavier rain there. But just down towards Ravenna, any of those smaller communities, the smaller back roads that lead south of Irvine and Ravenna, that would be an area of concern. Right along where you can see that kind of purplish line cutting east, that's the extent of one of the tornado warning boxes. But anywhere from Irvine and then back to the west where we've got that new tornado warning that's been issued, just coming across 75 right there, that darker color, an indication of the potential for hail just to the west of Kingston, southeast of Kirksville. And then down south, as we've been telling you, around Berea, that's where you need to already more than likely be within your shelter and wait for the storm to pass through.
And Tom, we're getting confirmation from the newsroom that West Liberty has indeed been hit, and the apparent is that it's been hit hard. The folks there are calling for assistance from neighboring counties. So again, it appears that the West Liberty and Morgan County has been hit by a tornado for the second time in 2 days. So for you folks there in Morgan County, the storm itself has passed, but the damage, again, appears to be extensive from everything we've been hearing now. So for you folks in Morgan County, the current threat from that tornado has passed, but you have another one lined up to your south and southwest. That storm now going through Estill County. It has a tornado warning out for it for Powell, for Wolf, for Menifee, and that does get into Morgan County as well, as this thing is moving at better than 60 miles an hour coming out of Estill County and then headed toward, say, Slade, toward Campton, toward Hazel Green, and then again maybe the more southern part of Morgan County getting back toward Ezell. We do continue with a tornado warning for Russell County. Spotters are reporting a rain-wrapped tornado. That means it's within the heavy downpour cell. That's near Russell Springs. That's what we were just showing you a second ago on the MaxTrack Live Doppler. Again, that's in Russell County. That storm is going across northern Russell County into the southern part of Casey County. So that is spotters are reporting a rain-wrapped tornado near Russell Springs. We are advising you folks in Russell Springs to be in shelter. You need to continue in your shelter. Southern Casey County from Dunville to Windsor. You folks need to be in shelter as well. For you folks in Salem, in northern Russell County, you need to be in shelter. The storm is going to be getting awfully close to Nancy in Pulaski County. So again, the western parts of Pulaski County. Be ready that this storm is going to be awfully close to you. It's moving north of Lake Cumberland. So you folks there from Russell Springs to Salem, along the Parkway, to Windsor in Casey County, to Nancy in Pulaski County, you folks need to be in shelter as this severe thunderstorm with a rain-wrapped tornado is coming your way. We'll cross over to Kevin and Nancy as we're updating the news of the day.
All right, Bill, thanks very much. You know, we've been processing voluminous amounts of information in our newsroom. Thanks for all of the pictures and updates you've been giving us. Right now, we've got a viewer on the phone, Tammy Kreider. And Tammy, you tell us that you actually saw this tornado in Menifee County?
Yes, we did. We were standing outside, and we could hear the roar, and we looked up, and we could see the funnel kind of going through the trees, and it went up 460 from the Denniston area on back.
And where exactly are you located?
We're in the Wellington area.
Wellington?
We're probably about 2 miles from Denniston, and you could see it coming through the trees.
And did you just see it in the air? You did not see any kind of touchdown, right?
We were unable to see the touchdown, but we could see the funnel spinning through the clouds, through the trees actually, and the trees were bending over, and the funnel, or what we could see, it looked like a funnel, was going along 460 from Denniston on down towards Morgan County, and then it circled around and came back towards us, which is Wellington.
Are you aware of any damage at this point? Have you seen anything, heard anything from your neighbors?
No, actually we haven't. We haven't had any power for a little while. We have a bunch of trees down, golf ball size hail. That's about all I could tell, but I couldn't tell any actual damage.
All right, Tammy, thanks so much. That's Tammy Kreider, who saw what could very well be one of the tornadoes out there. This one in Menifee County near Wellington, Denniston area, and 460. Right now we need to send it back over to Bill and Tom.
All right. For about 5 seconds here, we're going to show you one piece of good news, and that one piece of good news from our WeatherBug camera. We've got the sun trying to come out in Lexington. For Lexington and the surrounding communities, north and west, the danger has passed. Okay, that's the good news. Now let's get back to the stuff that is exceedingly serious, and that is a new tornado warning has come out. This one is for Boyle, Casey, Garrett, Lincoln, and Madison counties until 6:45. So we are looking at a new thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado coming out of the northern part of Casey County. Looks like they're north of Liberty. That one is on a path that is going to take it awfully close to Stanford. This one's on a similar path to what we were seeing from a storm about 20 minutes ago, the one that is now heading through Berea. So again, the one that's going in through the southern part of Madison County. Tom?
Yeah, and in addition to that, if you just pop out to the east here and get rid of some of these arrows, get the clutter out of the way so you can see it more clearly, It's literally a line of potentially tornadic storms. You go from the one that's in Campbellsville out towards, again, Casey County and to the south of Danville. And then you just run right up into another one. You get into Richmond, areas that have been battered already. So we'll zoom in here. We've got tornado warnings there running from around Berea. Now, we kept telling you about Berea, how you had to get in your shelter. The major threat is now pushing into southeastern parts of Madison County. There goes the live sweep, so around Big Hill. And then eventually, as you get out into southern Estill County, you've got to think about that storm coming in southern Estill County just as you've got one exiting northeastern Estill County. As you get just to the northeast of Ravenna, coming up on Slade there, so eastern Estill County, you can see how it hooks down there. Possibility of a tornadic storm there as well. I believe Bill's got some of the warnings queued up.
We do indeed, and so we are looking at these just so you can get a visual representation of where these tornado warnings are. For Morgan County until 7, Wolfe County until 7, Lee and Wolfe County there, and you see that until 7. We've got overlapping warnings here. Powell, Estill, Menifee, those are all until 7. You've got northern Jackson County, a tornado warning until 7. You also have Madison and Garrett County until 6:45, Lincoln County until 6:45, northern Casey County until 6:45, southern part of Casey County until 6:30, northern Russell County also a tornado warning that is in effect until 6:30. So these again are all of the warnings, the tornado warnings that we currently have in place for you as we have been watching these storms. And again, we don't have the towns on there, but you see Russell County again 6:30. That's 5:30 Central Time, and then also Casey County until 6:30, and the others tornado warnings for Casey, Lincoln, as well as Garrett and Madison counties until 6:45. So again, those are the tornado warnings that we have in place for you folks in the western part of Pulaski County. Even though you're not under a tornado warning yet, you've got that cell coming out of Russell County. For you folks there, you guys need to be ready to go.
From what?
All right. We again are tracking numerous tornado warnings going on across the area, and we are watching these storms. Again, tornado warning has just come out for Clay, Harlan, Knox, Leslie, and Whitley. This is a new tornado warning. This is the furthest southeast we've seen. This again is Clay, Harlan, Knox, Leslie, and Whitley counties. This is going to be a new tornado warning that is in effect until 7 o'clock. We were reporting what may be a tornado near Chenoa. There you see it right there on the, and that's going to be just to the, that's at the far southern end of Kentucky. That's going to be the southern tip of Whitley County, headed toward the southern part of Leslie County, the southern part of Clay County, and then headed on into Bell County. That storm moving east at around 60 miles an hour. That storm also capable of producing golf ball size hail. We'll send it on over to Kevin and Nancy.
All right, thank you, Bill. The coverage of these storms is just amazing. No matter what direction you go in,
everywhere.
Almost, it's hitting so many people. The National Guard has been put on standby to go wherever needed. Likely one of the places they will end up is in northern Kentucky in Grant County. We have Courtney Fisher there live by phone to bring us the latest from there. Courtney.
Yeah, Nancy, we're just seeing fire trucks pull into this huge neighborhood, the Harvesters, which is just off Crittenden exit. They have traffic, state police have traffic blocked off, and school buses are ready now standing by. They say they are evacuating people in this neighborhood, and I'm standing across the field checking out the damage. Several of these homes have roofs gone. We're seeing down power lines, people just standing in the street and not really knowing yet where to go, what direction they need to be taking. As I said, we are here on just off the exit, and traffic is at a standstill. Traffic blocks just near this neighborhood. It's the Harvesters neighborhood where a lot of roofs gone to homes. We're not close enough to see the extent of the damage. Police say that they do know several people are injured. They don't have numbers. They don't know how severe these injuries are at this point. We'll have that information for you coming up. Nancy, Kevin, back to you.
Injuries and damage in Grant County. Courtney Fisher will keep us up to date. We hope that because we have some of the best weather technology available, that has helped keep most of you safe today. For more of that, let's send it back over to Bill Mack.
We're still tracking clusters of potentially tornadic thunderstorms, mostly now east, southeast, and south of Lexington. That being said, we still have numerous tornado warnings. New ones keep coming. It's now coming in a barrage where we have tornado warnings for Madison County, for Estill County, for Powell County, for Wolfe County, for Menifee County. Morgan County is included again. You see that storm that has gone through Berea. We've had reports of hail out of Berea, no report of size yet. Although, again, that storm is hugging right there on the Jackson-Madison County line. That storm's headed into the southern part of Estill County. So, again, that storm, though, you've got one moving in on Irvin, Ravenna. For you folks there, you guys need to be in shelters now. There are more storms coming out of northern Casey County, going into Boyle and Lincoln County. Here's a zoom in on the storms that are in the eastern part of Madison County. Those storms are going to be continuing progressing to the east. And as they do so, we are watching these thunderstorms, again, any moment could produce tornadoes. But the other part of these storms has been that they've been hailers. They've been producing very large hail. As we zoom back out here again, you've got I-75 here. You've got this storm straddling the Madison-Estill County line. You've got this thunderstorm that's in the eastern part of Estill County, getting ready to go into the northern part of Lee County. That's headed toward the Wolfe-Powell County line there, right there at Slade along the Mountain Parkway. That one's on a destiny that looks like takes into the southern part of Menifee County. To the north of that, let's go ahead and take this a little further north. We've got more thunderstorms that are ongoing, and there is a tornado warning. You can see the outline box there for Rowan County, for Bath County as well. That storm is now north of Cave Run Lake and moving north of I-64. So again, from Owingsville to Moorhead out to, say, Haldeman, you folks out there all under the potential threat from this tornado. That's headed toward Carter County and Olive Hill. Again, torrential rain, large hail, all possibilities with this storm that is passing north of Cave Run Lake right through Moorhead at this point. So again, that is another one of our potentially tornadic cells. Let's go on to the southwest. And as we do, we're going to take you back past Berea, back to the storms now northern Garrett County, but now the potentially tornadic storms coming out of Casey County. These are headed up into the southern part of Boyle County, Junction City, Mitchellsburg, headed toward Danville. You've got the folks in Lincoln County, you folks out there by McKinney, Houstonville. Be ready. You've got that storm headed your way. And one other storm that was reported as being rain wrapped. Let's take this a little further to the south. This one has come across Russell Springs. We had a spotter report of a rain-wrapped tornado in Russell Springs. That storm is now crossing the very southern part of Casey County. That's moving along the Parkway, now going into Pulaski County. So for you folks in especially the western part of Pulaski County, you've got the community of Nancy right there. This storm is going to be coming right along the Parkway, maybe just a little bit to the north of it. But again, for Nancy right in there, you folks, even though you may not be seeing the actual warning at this point, although I suspect you are at this point, you guys need to be ready to go to your shelter. If this storm is producing a tornado, again, it's very close to Windsor, right in there. As you look there, right at the Casey County, the Pulaski County line. This is an area that saw storms also last Wednesday. So again, there's the track of the storms. We'll go ahead and let that run through. Go ahead and do the time of arrival on that. See Windsor now, Mittenville. You get towards, say, Kingby at 6:38. The track is north of Nancy, but again, it's awfully close. So again, for you folks there, be prepared. But that one's on a path that's going to be bringing it over the course of the next half hour to 40 minutes, very close to Science Hill. In fact, we're showing that there at 6:44 to Science Hill. The areas around Science Hill and Dabney were hit by a tornado on Wednesday. What's amazing is we're seeing communities that were hit on Wednesday being hit again today, or at least the potential for them to be hit again today, as these thunderstorms do continue progressing to the east at around 60 miles an hour for a lot of these thunderstorms. We are watching more and more of these thunderstorms continue. A report of a wind gust to 60 miles an hour from Moorhead. Tornado warning, Clay, Jackson, Knox, and Laurel, as well as McCreary, Pulaski, Rockcastle, Wayne, and Whitley. Okay, that's everybody until 7:15. So again, that's a wide tornado warning that has been issued. This one's going to be in effect until 7:15. Clay, Jackson, Knox, Laurel, McCreary, Pulaski, Rockcastle, Wayne, and Whitley. That is in effect until 7:15. That is for the storm that we are showing you getting now into the western part of Pulaski County, just a little bit north of Nancy. It's okay.
I was heading down to Middlesboro.
That's a storm that's going into Bell County.
There we go. Yeah, and obviously numerous threats anywhere across the area, but the worst of it has cleared out of northern counties and in and around Lexington. So we're pretty much focused on south central Kentucky from around Pulaski County and all the way down towards Middlesboro, where all this started earlier this afternoon, if you were watching. And then again, some of the worst cells at the moment appear to be running right along that line that we were talking about earlier, from South Madison County through Irvin. You folks just keep getting hit repeatedly, and it's just like a little train of these storms that continue to roll around along the same path. So just as you get one through, you've got another one to deal with. So for folks out along the parkway there, the parkway as you get out to around Campton, just to the south of Slade, around Campton and parts of Wolfe County, that storm's rolling in, and just as that one passes through, here comes the next one in the line. This one getting in now to western Estill County, so folks to the south of Irvin and Ravenna. This one coming out of South Madison County, more than likely dropping some level of hail with this from the indications of the radar there. And also, again, potentially tornadic. We've got tornado warnings in effect for numerous counties, and one of them is Estill County. So if you're just to the south of Ravenna, right where you're seeing that signature that unfortunately we're getting very used to early this meteorological spring now, you can see that we're just kind of hooks around there as the MaxTrack Live completes its sweep. Areas just to the south of that storm is where you want to watch out for that potential rotation.
Let's go ahead and go up to the storm that's a little bit almost due west of there. Let's go to the storm that is Garrett, Lincoln, Madison. Tornado warning is continuing for Garrett County, for Lincoln County, for Madison County. It's the storm that looks to be very close to Stanford at this point. So for you folks in Stanford, you guys need to be in the shelter now. That storm is headed for areas from Lancaster southward in Garrett County. And that's going to be eventually targeting areas of southwestern parts of Madison County. That storm is moving close to 70 miles an hour. Hail, again, likely from that storm. That storm is, again, capable of a tornado. We still have the tornado watches that continue for many of us. Those going into the evening, although for areas around Lexington, north and west of Lexington, the severe threat has passed. But for Stanford, you folks have another thunderstorm moving in on you now. That storm will be very close to Lancaster, but that one also is on a path that'll take it close to Crab Orchard and Broadhead with time. To the south, let's go into that warning that has come up for most of southern Kentucky now. That is the cell that is now beginning to approach Somerset. Let's zoom in on that one close. Again, you see Science Hill there. This is going to be moving along and just north of the Parkway. So you folks in Somerset, this storm is bearing down on you now. You folks in the north side of Somerset, you guys need to be in your shelters. If you're down toward Ferguson, you're probably okay from this one. But that being said, there are more storms coming, so you need to remain vigilant. But this particular cell is coming up on US 27. That one is sitting just about, well, the hail part of it's just now encroaching on US 27, about halfway between Science Hill and Somerset. If the storm is tornadic, it's going to be in that little, we got US 27 right there, in that little area just along near Old Highway 80 or so. There you've got the Cumberland Parkway that we continue to see that storm. Madison County continues tornado warning till 6:45. We continue to see a storm capable of producing a tornado. Better than golf ball size hail is also possible from that storm in Madison County. But again, for you folks in Somerset, headed towards southern Rockcastle and Laurel County, that storm is headed your way. Okay, we're getting confirmation from the newsroom of what we were telling you earlier, that appears West Liberty has been hit again. Kentucky State Police are there. They are confirming what appears by every indication to be more tornado damage. And the report we saw, just on the written report that we had come in, that it was extensive. So the radar presentation for that storm was classic, and hopefully most folks got to shelter and got to safety as that storm was approaching. But again, it appears there's been significant damage in West Liberty in Morgan County, the same community that was hit on Wednesday.
Yeah, and just looking at some of the areas of concern across this line of storms now, it's a broken line, but it's a line running from northeast to southwest. From around Moorhead, we've got warnings out there, tornado warnings running. Moorhead, that cell that's coming up on Sandy Hook, and as well as we continue to just go ahead and track you off down to the south and southwest. Campton, an area, and Irvin, two storms that look very formidable and as well dangerous. And with the history of the storm that just went through West Liberty, these look to be tracking in and potentially, causing some damage there in an area that's still recovering and still assessing damage from that storm that just went through and caused a possible tornado in West Liberty. So, folks in Campton, the storm's bearing down right on you. But if I zoom in a little bit and show you a time lapse, you're going to see that storm is rolling east-northeast. So, West Liberty, you've already got the rain spreading in, light to moderate. And in addition, that potential for another round of possibly tornadic storms.
All right, we continue to track numerous potentially tornadic storms moving across the areas south and east of Lexington. You can see we've got the whole weather crew sitting here with us. We've got Tom Ackerman, who you were just hearing. We've got Matt Ortiz, Lindsay Schwartzwalder here. The entire LEX18 news operation is now in full storm tracker mode. And with that, we send it over to Kevin and Nancy.
All right, Bill, thank you. We have finally, we've got our reporters deployed all over the place. We've got reporters in Morgan County, Menifee County, Grant County, Madison County, and Josh Breslow right now is here in Lexington.
Let's go to him live now. Josh, what have you seen out here in Lexington? Certainly we were spared the worst of it, but still, what have you found? I think you're on Nicholasville Road now near Alumni.
Yeah, Nancy, Kevin, right now we're here in Lexington. We're on Nicholasville, and we are, as you said, near Alumni. Right now, the storms have already moved through, but the damage is still out here. If you take a look behind me, a power line fell earlier on, about 6 o'clock or so. We were told that as that cell moved on through, it actually pulled down that power line. So it was a live wire that was down here on the road. They have blocked off the road. You can actually see police with Lexington are out here right now. They're cleaning up that mess along with KU crews, just trying to, get everything back together so they can reopen this road here along Nicholasville. Once again, it is near Alumni. It's right across from the UK campus and right near UK Hospital. But really, it looks like they've got that wire up for the most part. So right now, that damage is pretty much cleared off this area. And we are told that they are expecting to reopen this road very shortly. So once again, here on Nicholasville near Alumni, that is the damage that we've seen from that cell that moved through. And it is expected to be cleaned up very soon. We are covering the news live in Lexington from the LEX18 mobile newsroom. Back to you.
Just the first look, just the beginning of what will be a long night of assessing damage all over the Commonwealth.
Here in Lexington, as we said, we were spared the worst of it, but still some pretty impressive images coming in about what went through Lexington and Nicholasville. Bill, you want to take it from there?
Well, Nancy, we both saw this and both of our jaws dropped because Brandon Crossing is about a half mile from where both of our houses are. That's you're hitting close to home. Of course, a lot of folks are dealing with horrible things tonight, but to see that one close to where you live as well, that is a scary picture from Brandon Crossing. Just to orient you, Brandon Crossing is right there at the Jessamine-Fayette County line. It's that whole big new shopping center that's gone up in northern Jessamine County. Again, that was an amazing picture. Other pictures from Lexington. This one came in to us earlier. Again, you see the impressive updraft that's going on with these storms. This is a storm that developed very, very rapidly. This was really the first one. It developed on its own out ahead of the main batch of stuff. This was the one that we began our coverage of warnings with a couple of hours ago. And that storm now is obviously long gone, but there have been plenty more to take its place. As we've been watching them on the Max Track Live Doppler, we continue with numerous tornado warnings around the area. We've heard that West Liberty has been hit very hard again. More storms are heading that way as well. You see a storm also very close to the community of Campton. We're just at Campton Elementary School this week, or last week rather, and we're talking to kids about weather safety, and so hopefully they take the lesson home and are prepared with the storm that's moving through Campton now. That's in Wolfe County, right there along the Mountain Parkway. That storm is on a track that will take it toward the southern part of Morgan County. So again, for you folks there, Mize and Malone, Hazel Green, Salem. Again, we're straddling the Wolfe-Morgan County line with that one. Let's go back to the storm that's in Estill County. That one is moving in on Irvin at this point. That one likely has very large hail with it. That area that you see in black just to the west of Irvin, moving there along Highway 52 between Winston and Irvin. For you folks there, again, likely seeing some very large hail with this storm. That's, again, moving along Highway 52. Then that storm also has a tornado warning that is issued for it. So, again, for you folks, Irvin, Ravenna, anywhere there in Estill County, especially the central part of Estill County, you need to be in your safe spot. A new report just came out of Marion County out of Gravel Switch of golf ball-sized hail. As we were tracking the storms, golf ball-sized hail continues in parts of eastern Kentucky as well. We're seeing that in West Liberty with Morgan County. That happened actually about 20 minutes ago. The golf ball-sized hail may have been the smallest part of that storm, considering some of the damage that we've been hearing coming out of West Liberty. Tornado warning has been issued now for Morgan, Rowan County until 7 o'clock. Spotter reports tracking a large tornado near Little Sandy. That's 7 miles southwest of Sandy Hook. That's getting into Elliott County. So again, that's going to be the southern part of Rowan County that we're looking at that particular cell. So again, that is a spotter report of what may be a large tornado moving east at around 60 miles an hour. So that one is headed toward the folks there in Elliott County. So again, Elliott, Morgan, Rowan until 7 o'clock. That does continue with the tornado warning for those folks. We do continue to see new tornado warnings popping up, especially across eastern and southeastern parts of Kentucky. Again, you folks in Campton, now going east along the Parkway, the Mountain Parkway there, headed toward Magoffin County. You folks there need to be getting into shelter now. It's still not to Magoffin County yet. Salyersville, you haven't seen much going on at all, but your turn is coming up with these, and you need to be prepared to move to your safe spot. Same thing with Breathitt County. You've been spared just about everything so far. The line is encroaching on you, and we'll be moving into the southeastern parts of Kentucky over the next hour or so. So again, you folks need to remain vigilant as well. But we do continue with more tornado warnings. In fact, we just had a tornado warning issued for Breathitt, Floyd, Johnson, Lee, Magoffin, Morgan, Wolf. This is a new tornado warning that will be in effect until 7:15. Storm spotters, Doppler radar continue to track what may be a large tornado near Booth that's southwest of Campton. Radar is showing this moving close to 70 miles an hour. We also have reports of golf ball sized hail with a storm out of Eubank in Pulaski County, and there may be power outages there in the Pulaski community as it looks like a transformer blew. That came into from the Aurora Electric Cooperative down there in Pulaski County. So again, new tornado warnings: Breathitt, Floyd, Johnson, Lee, Magoffin, Morgan, with potentially a large tornado, at least coming in from spotter reports, moving through the eastern parts of Kentucky. So again, these are right around Campton there.
Yeah, just looking at some of the velocity products as well, the threat for hail is a very real one, but also right there on the southwestern edge of that storm, that's the area where if you're going to see rotation and a potential tornado from the storm, just to the southeast of Campton, it's that area we're going to want to stay the most aware. And of course, we got that brand new tornado warning just came out for this storm. And I'll zoom it out a little bit and show you the sweep rolls by there. You can kind of pick out the edge of that box, and essentially we're looking at a warning that runs almost from west to east. It's going to cut across. It just barely grazes northern parts of Breathitt County and eventually takes it out towards Salyersville. So folks out in that direction, you need to brace yourself for the eventuality of that storm making it to you. But right now the major threat appears to be just to the east of Campton now, and possibly just to the south of the Mountain Parkway. So communities like Lee City, even down south towards Bethany or a little farther south, but any of these communities right to the east of Campton between there and Lee City, that's a very potential area of a very large threat for you.
All right, and we'll just kind of highlight some of the warnings that we do have in place for you. Again, Pulaski County tornado warning until 7:15, Laurel County until 7:15, Rockcastle until 7:15, Knox County, that's going to be the southeastern part of Knox County, until 7, Southern Clay County until 7. You go into the western part of Leslie County, that's also in effect until 7. The northern warnings, and we will show you these as well. And again, we're talking about areas just a little bit further to the north. Again, there's a whole slew of these warnings, so again, we'll just get these on here as best we can for you. You've got Lincoln County until 6:45. That one's about to expire. That one would also carry then into Madison County. That one's about to expire. You've got Estill County until 7 o'clock, Lee County until 7 o'clock, Morgan and Wolfe counties until 7 o'clock, Southern Menifee until 7 o'clock, Powell until 7 o'clock. You've got Rowan until 7, Elliott until 7, Northern Morgan until 7. Again, those are all the tornado warnings that we have out there at the moment. And we're going to send it over to Kevin and Nancy.
Thank you, Bill. Of course, this system is still developing. This news story, as it is still developing. But already, Governor Steve Beshear has declared a statewide emergency in response to the storms. We want to read you the information that Frankfort has put out right now. But as we do, just take a look at some of the pictures that have come into the LEX18 newsroom from all over. In response to this outbreak of intense storms Friday, Governor Steve Beshear declared a statewide emergency to allow local officials immediate access to state resources to assist in public safety and recovery efforts. Again, as we said, everything's still developing. However, the National Weather Service initially confirmed 3 tornadoes that touched down in Henderson, Muhlenberg, and Trimble counties. The Trimble County tornado also crossed into neighboring Carroll County.
And here's a little bit of what we're looking at all across the Commonwealth. These are reports to Kentucky Emergency Management in Frankfort. Heavy damage to Trimble County Fire Station number 2 near Milton. Heavy damage in West Liberty and Morgan County, as we've been telling you. In fact, our reporter on the scene there, Bianca Spinoza, is now telling us that officials there have said that Main Street in Morgan County in West Liberty has been leveled. Heavy damage in Pioneer and Kenton County, some damage in Pendleton County, 23 power outages statewide.
23,000.
23,000 rather. Flash flooding on US 25 and Kentucky 1344 in Middlesboro. 17 homes and 20 units of an apartment complex heavily damaged in the Harvester subdivision near Crittenden in Grant County. We've been getting those reports from Courtney Fisher, who is on the scene. And when we last heard from her, she said that there are fire trucks and emergency vehicles there evacuating people from that neighborhood.
Of course, we want to remind everyone of a couple of things. Do not call 911 unless you have a true emergency. Keep those lines open for folks who need assistance immediately. For drivers, don't travel into flooded areas. Motorists need to heed the barricades and warning signs and avoid areas where roads have been closed, because you can quickly find yourself driving into high water. Also, it's way too early to do any kind of sightseeing, to get out and see what damage is like in your community. The best thing right now is just to stay in.
Again, we are the worst appears to be over here in Lexington, but for the rest of the watches and warnings that are still up, let's go back to our chief meteorologist, Bill Mack. Bill?
And you just mentioned the tens of thousands of people now without power. We can give you the numbers if you are without power. Here's who you need to contact. Kentucky Utilities, 1-800-981-0600. Bluegrass Energy, 1-888-655-4243. Jackson RECC, 1-800-262-7480. So again, if you're without power, you've got the power outages, those are the numbers. We're getting a report of what has been maybe a tornado going through Irvin. Again, that was an unconfirmed report coming in just a couple of minutes ago. We continue to track what is a potentially large tornado, at least from the spotter reports that have been coming in from near Campton. That storm is going along the Mountain Parkway. That is going to go into the southern part of Morgan County. That will also be going into Magoffin County here over the next 10 minutes or so. We have more thunderstorms to the south and west. We've been tracking a storm that may be tornadic going through Pulaski County. That storm is now north of Somerset. It's going to be very close to Shopville at this point, going by Science Hill, going by Woodstock. So that storm, again, very close to Shopville at this point, on a path that will take it into the southern part of Rockcastle County, the northern part of Laurel County, as well as for folks there going on to the east, maybe into the southern part of Jackson County as well. So we continue to track these storms with the MaxTrack Live Doppler, but apparently folks have been hit hard in eastern Kentucky, and for that we're going to send it over to Kevin and Nancy.
The second time in as many days, Bill, as you mentioned, Morgan County, West Liberty, right in the crosshairs of this storm, and the damage is heavy.
They were hit hard, as you said, and now it appears they've been hit even harder possibly today. Let's go live by phone to Bianca Spinoza in Morgan County. We understand Main Street in West Liberty heavily damaged, Bianca.
Sorry, Kevin and Nancy, we're actually almost there in Morgan County. I'm told that from state police, a tornado has touched down on Main Street in Morgan County. Of course, as you said, they were hit very hard 2 days ago. Homes just leveled, and tonight, facing a similar situation there. State police is on the scene. We're told no injuries to report at this time. But again, just a very sad situation for people living in Morgan County to be hit by a tornado again after being hit just 2 days ago. We'll have more on the scene for you later here on LEX18. For now, Kevin and Nancy, back to you.
All right, Bianca Spinoza live in Morgan County, where, as she said, significant damage there at this point seems to be centered on the Main Street area of West Liberty.
And again, the governor has just declared a statewide emergency in response to these storms. We are still tracking them, and here's our chief meteorologist, Bill Mack.
Unfortunately, that's one of just several storms that have been ongoing, and many communities still remain under the threat from these storms. We continue to see tornado warnings in many communities south and southeast of Lexington. For Lexington north and west, danger is past. We have seen the worst that this weather is going to do. For folks south and east, the threat is very, very real and continues for the next few hours. Let's go to the MaxTrack Live Doppler, and we are zoomed in first on what is the tornado potential in eastern Kentucky. So you've got northern part of Lee County, Powell County, Wolfe County, now headed toward northern Breathitt, southern part of Morgan, and eventually Magoffin County there in Salyersville. The tornadic part of the storm, if it is there, is going to be about halfway between Campton and Salyersville, and that again working to the east at close to 60 miles an hour. So again, for along the Mountain Parkway there, that is what is again likely a tornadic storm, certainly a extremely heavy rain, more than likely some pretty large hail. And again, that is along State Highway 205, just south of the Mountain Parkway. That again in Wolfe County. So that storm is headed into Magoffin County over the next few minutes. So you folks there, be prepared for that. Then you see the community of Lee City, just a little bit south of the Mountain Parkway in Wolfe County, where we're seeing that, again, potentially tornadic storm. Let's take this back over now toward Garrett and Madison counties, where we have another tornado warning in progress, a new one that has been issued. This one is for a storm that is coming in on Richmond. Actually, it looks like south of Richmond. It's going to be more toward Berea. Richmond's got the heavy rain, but this one is for Garrett and Madison County, southern part of southeastern part of Garrett County, then down towards, say, Berea. So you folks in Berea, you were in shelter a few minutes ago. You need to be back in shelter anywhere, say, by Madison Southern, by the Berea Independent Schools, then continuing on up toward the, even as far north as the Bluegrass Army Depot, the Duncannon area. For you folks there in Madison County, you guys need to be in shelter as that storm comes across the southern part of Garrett County. That's a little bit very close to the community of Crab Orchard. It's passing very close to Rockcastle County as well. You see some of the communities that are in the path of that. Again, Paint Lick, Kingston. Kingston's very close to this. That's getting right by the Bluegrass Army Depot, Berea, Big Hill, all under the potential threat from this, again, potentially tornadic storm. Again, we see more and more of these reports coming out. We also have been watching what may be a tornadic storm. We're in Garrett County there. Let's go ahead and get down toward Pulaski County. And for the storm there in Pulaski County, again, we've been tracking this one for a while. They had a report of a rain-wrapped tornado with that. That storm has now moved past Science Hill. That one's headed into the southern part of Rockcastle County, a little south of Mount Vernon. That's on a path that will take it into the northern part of Laurel County. That's going to head up towards, say, East Bernstadt, Pittsburgh, London, Livingston, and Rockcastle County, all in the path of that. Don?
All right, now we'll pop it back out, give you the broad view, and probably be a good time. I'll just zoom in quickly and show you the Max Track Live. Just give you a rundown, the laundry list, if you will, of tornado warnings. What an incredible day we've had so far. We're used to seeing this with severe thunderstorm warnings, squall lines, essentially, when you get counties just racked up, but we're doing it with tornado warnings today. So Bath County, Breathitt, Carter, Clay, Elliott, Estill, Floyd, Garrett County, as well as Harlan, Jackson, Johnson, Knox, Laurel, Lee, Leslie, Letcher, Madison, Magoffin, McCreary, Menifee, Morgan, Perry, Powell, Pulaski, Rockcastle, Rowan, Wayne, Whitley, and Wolfe. Every single one of those, a tornado warning at the moment, and right there, Bill's got it pulled up for you to show you graphically.
Yeah, this is an amazing display of how many tornado warnings there are. You're seeing the polygon display, and when we talk about the polygons for tornadoes, essentially instead of a warning for the entire county, what the Weather Service ends up doing is issuing a polygon. When we talk about our weather call system, this is what it's showing, and it takes it into the polygon as opposed to the entire county. And so you see new ones being added in here all the time. It's kind of a chaotic display. We might be able to clean this up a little bit here for you. Again, here are the warnings. Again, Madison County until 7:15, Garrett 7:15, Estill County, that is until 7, so that's got a few more minutes to go. Same with Jackson, Lee until 7. Looks like some new ones just got added in here. Lee and Wolfe until 7:15, Wolfe and Breathitt 7:15, Magoffin and Morgan until 7:15, Rowan until 7, Morgan until 7, the northern part of Morgan County. As we look to the south with this, we'll go ahead and scroll this southward. And you see the tornado warnings again for Laurel until 7:15. Clay, Laurel, Knox, that's the same warning until 7:15. We'll throw Jackson County in there until 7:15. Rockcastle, tornado warning until 7:15. Southern counties, Whitley and Knox until 7 o'clock. That warning extends into Leslie County also until 7 o'clock. So again, it is a whole slew of warnings in southern and eastern Kentucky for these thunderstorms. And look at that storm by Salyersville now. Again, taking on that looping, that hooking echo that we so often talk about with these. And again, that is the area that we're talking right in here. That again is approaching Salyersville. So you folks in Salyersville, you guys need to be in shelter now as that storm is moving rapidly along the Mountain Parkway, moving in right toward you. So again, be prepared. We've got another heavy, possibly severe thunderstorm that's coming into the southern part of Wolfe County near Campton. More thunderstorms continue, and again, the storm that's in Madison County coming out of the southern part of Garrett County. This one, heavy rain Flash flooding is becoming a potential for some of these storms as well. But there you see southern Garrett County, the area around Berea. Again, we've told you folks in Berea, you need to be in shelter, being aware that the storm is coming in through you. Then it extends up to the fork there at 421 and 25. That likely just some hail at this point, in addition to the very heavy rain threat. Elsewhere, we look to the south with these storms. The one that's coming into the southern part of Rockcastle County. For you folks there, that one has a history of having a rain-wrapped tornado with it when it was further to your west. It may have weakened slightly now as it's coming toward the southern part of Rockcastle County, but you've got another squall line approaching Science Hill, Eubank, Nancy in Pulaski County. So that's the storms that we are looking at there.
Yeah, and the flash flood warning, obviously not going to be as big of a threat as the tornado warnings, but we are getting them in because of the torrential rain these storms are producing. The newest one, flash flood warning for Bath, Elliott, Johnson, Menifee, Morgan, and Rowland. So on top of the storm damage, potential storm damage, we've got that to deal with. Looks like a new tornado warning for Estill, Jackson, Lee, Owsley, and Rockcastle County. That runs through 7:45 for, again, more of those storms tracking essentially east about 60 miles per hour, which has been the case through much of the day.
What was the last counties on that one?
It was Rockcastle.
So that's going to be the northern storm there, the one that's coming out of Garrett County, the one that's in Berea now. That's one's headed toward Jackson in the southern part of Estill. That looks like that's where that storm is. Yeah. So that's going to be from Mount Vernon northward with that particular cell. So again, you folks there around Roundstone, Crab Orchard, Broadhead, be aware that you've got storms very close to you at this point, back up to Berea. Then it turns into heavy rain, headed up toward the Bluegrass Army Depot there between Berea and Richmond. Maybe some hail in there as well. And then that storm is also headed into the southern part of Estill County. We'll send it on over to Kevin and Nancy.
Thank you, Bill. One of the areas hit hard, of course, in northern Kentucky, Grant County. Earlier, we heard that one neighborhood was actually being evacuated. There are reports of injuries, though not confirmed, but definitely significant damage there.
Yeah, we're talking about the Harvester subdivision near Crittenden in Grant County, where some 17 homes and 20 units of an apartment complex. We got a report of heavy damage there. That from Kentucky Emergency Management in Frankfort. Now, for more confirmation about that, let's go to WLEX18's Courtney Fisher, who is on the scene in Crittenden and Grant County.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin. It may be hard to hear me. Dump trucks are now coming in as well as fire trucks. We are in the area that had the most damage. We have finally gotten back to one area, one corner of the subdivision, and I have to tell you, I have never seen damage like this. We're talking about 10 homes. I'm standing in the middle of them. Roofs ripped off, debris everywhere, every window of these homes blown out, complete destruction, cars crumpled. It doesn't even, whatever passed through here had to be extremely, extremely powerful. Everyone has been out of the area or has been evacuated from the area we're standing in. We had to have a police escort just because it is very dangerous to be out here. It is now starting to get dark. They want to make sure everybody is out. Still unconfirmed how many people are injured at this point. We should know that soon in the next hour. Police still trying to gather that information, they tell me. They will have police presence in the neighborhood tonight just to make sure everybody is out of the area and just to make sure everyone out here stays safe. For now, Kevin, Nancy, back to you guys.
Significant damage in Grant County. But let's go back now to Chief Meteorologist Bill Mack.
And we continue to track the storms, and the one that we were looking at just a minute ago down in Pulaski County, the one that's moving toward Rockcastle County, this one may be getting intensifying as we've gone through the last few minutes. And again, with the live Doppler, we're able to track the progress of that as this storm is now beginning to develop its own hook. And the lightning has also increased with this storm over the last couple of minutes. Again, a sign that the storm is intensifying. It's gone by Shopville. It is sitting just north of the Parkway there, at least north of Highway 80, between Shopville and the Laurel County line. The storm is headed toward Hazel Patch. The storm is headed toward Livingston. The storm is going through the eastern part of Pulaski County, and it is tracking to the east at around 60 miles an hour. And as we track this particular storm, here you go. Here are some of the communities that are in the path of this. And again, some of the smaller communities along the way, you may recognize these. So we'll go ahead and just sweep this through here for you. Sandy Gap 702. Again, many of these are very small communities. You look, see a Billows at 706, Bernstadt, not East Bernstadt, but Bernstadt at 712. Hazel Patch gets there at around, say, 713 or so. East Bernstadt in Laurel County, that's at 716. Pittsburgh, which is between East Bernstadt and London, comes in at 717. This path of this particular storm does look to be taking it north of London. That being said, there are still numerous strong storms that may impact areas around London. We've also been watching these storms and tracking their intensity. This one actually has a fairly low TI at 3. That being said, sometimes the TI doesn't always influence how the storm is behaving, because when you see a hook signature like that, what we are seeing right there at the Pulaski and Rockcastle County lines, that again is indicating that the storm may indeed be at least showing rotation, if not tornadic, and it's one of several storms that are around the area as well. We've got a squall line. This is, it looks like if anything would have just straight line winds with it. That is in the western part of Pulaski County, from Nancy up to Science Hill. It's gone by Eubank at this point. That one is headed off now into Rockcastle County as well. We continue to watch the storms that are further to the north and northeast, so we'll take you on to these storms as well. Berea, you've got a powerful storm still near you at this point. That storm is also tracking off to the northeast. Menifee County warning.
The picture I just want to show you. Yeah, we'll try to get that up.
Yeah, we've got the pictures that have been coming into us, and we thank you for those. And we always tell you, wait until it's safe before you send those in. That storm that's near Berea at this point, you see some of the communities, Irvin and Ravenna, over the next 20 minutes, Big Hill in the next 10 minutes, that may be affected by that particular storm that's coming through Berea. And again, for you folks in Berea, you still need to be in your safe spot. We continue northeast as we'll take you up into a cluster of strong and severe thunderstorms, some of which may indeed be tornadic, moving through Wolfe County, coming in toward Campton. They also have another cluster of storms that are moving in now on Salyersville in Magoffin County. So for you folks there, you folks obviously need to have been in shelter. West Liberty and Morgan County has been hit hard again. 2 times within 3 days, the folks there in Morgan County have seen tornadic thunderstorms come through, and from what we're hearing, this one may be worse than what happened on Wednesday. And of course, WLEX18 News are on the scene there, are on their way there certainly to tell us the story of what happened there in Morgan County. Warning technically goes down into Breathitt County. You don't have anything immediately pending, but that may change in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So northern parts of Breathitt County, you guys need to be on guard. Lee County, Owsley County, Jackson County, the storm that's now approaching, say, Sand Gap, is the one that's going to be affecting you in the next 20 minutes or so. So you all need to be prepared for that storm as it comes at you. On the big picture, and we'll eliminate the arrows here to clean things up, what you see is that everything has shifted eastward actually fairly quickly. And so areas north of I-64 are in the clear. North of I-64, you guys, everyone north of I-64 is in the clear. As you are looking to the south, anyone west of Highway 127 is in the clear at this point. So anyone west of 127 and north of I-64, your severe weather threat has finished. East of I-75, south of I-64, we are continuing with a severe weather threat. And in fact, we continue to see what appears to be a low-level lock. That's that red circle that you see near the Pulaski Rockcastle County line. That, again, is the radar's indication that this storm may indeed be tornadic.
New severe thunderstorm warnings out as well for Estill County, northern Johnson, north central Lee, Magoffin, southern Menifee, and Morgan counties. So on top of the tornado warnings, we've also got your just garden variety severe thunderstorm warnings to contend with that are just thrown into the mix. And that threat, as you can see very obviously on the MaxTrack Live Doppler, continues. Some reports getting in out around Salyersville, where you heard Bill talking about the low-level locks. Those spinning icons that you can see towards Salyersville, the yellow ones, those are indications from the radar of a mid-level lock, potential rotation within the storm there. That doesn't mean it's actually making it down to the surface. But again, with the way these storms have been behaving this afternoon and into the early this evening now, any one of these needs to be taken very seriously. Of course, just off to the northwest, West Liberty, one of the areas just got hit very hard. So if you're within anywhere around Salyersville through pretty much central and parts of northern Magoffin County, you need to have already obviously been into your safe spot, your shelter, but as well, with this storm tracking off to the northeast, it's going to come very close to clipping areas like Denver. You can see out ahead of the storm, the general motion off to the east-northeast. See if I can get a storm track on this for you and show you just down towards, there you go, Oil Springs by about 7:11. That's only about 7 or 8 minutes away. By Asa by about 7:13. So Salyersville, northern Magoffin County, that's an area where you need to be within your shelter due to the potential for tornadoes from these storms. And unfortunately, a threat that's realized once again out towards West Liberty. And as we track you back to the west, Campton, an area of Wolfe County that's taken repeated hits today, and yet another storm barreling across there. So right within Campton and Wolfe County, that storm essentially right on top of you. So the area of threat, if there is indeed tornadic development with this storm, is going to be a little more to the east, southeast of Campton, and as you get out towards Lee City. So anywhere along the Mountain Parkway, expect the potential for some torrential rain, and also look for that possibility of some large damaging hail. And we're just going to continue the tour back to the west because these storms are running in an arc from east off to the west and then eventually diving southwest. So Irvin, Estill County, out towards Berea, South Madison County, Berea. I don't even know how many hits you've taken now through the afternoon, but you've got yet another storm on top of you and tracking off to the east. You get down through Rockcastle County, I-75 as you're heading south towards London, North Laurel County, Science Hill. You had one storm go through. You've got yet another one going through, and it looks like a tornado warning does extend from east out there as you get out, and it just drops off as you head out towards London, and another storm picks it up. So around Hazel Patch, East Bernstead, north, just to the north of London, running along 75 there, torrential rain, and again the possibility for some maybe rotation within that storm as far as tornadic development goes. The big picture, we'll pop it out, throw on throw off the arrows so you can get an idea of where all the storms are. And as Bill was saying, very easy to pick out where the threat is, and it isn't Lexington anymore. Right there's your line. So anywhere west of this line, you guys are in the clear, and of course the storms are ongoing as you head in that direction towards our southeastern counties. So tornado warnings continue pretty much peppered all along this line, running from now Louisa through Sandy Hook, back through West Liberty, Salyers-ville. Now coming up on Johnson County, you get out towards Paintsville, and then back towards Beattyville. You've got storms approaching you folks. McKee in Jackson County, haven't seen a whole lot going on, so we're starting to see storms encroaching on areas that have been relatively quiet through the day. Mount Vernon and down through North Laurel County. Go ahead and zoom in on that North Laurel County storm and talk a little bit more about that.
In fact, we're looking at this storm over here in Laurel County, and one of the things that you look for when you're looking at potential for development with a tornadic storm, all right, you've got this cell that's sitting out here by itself in the northern part of Laurel County. This is along I-75. But then you've got this line that's encroaching from the northwest. What's going to be happening is these two things will eventually be merging together, and the potential, again, we've already seen the storm being tornadic at one point in its life as it was back in Russell County. The potential is there as this storm is in Russell County, coming in through the southern part of Rockcastle, and especially now headed into the southern part of Jackson, that this particular cell may try and spin up one more time. And tornado warnings do continue for this storm, but we really just wanted to highlight this area right now, which is the northern part of Laurel County, East Bernstead, Hazel Patch. For you folks there, you see Hazel Patch right there. In fact, you've got hail likely ongoing at this point. Passing by Livingston, headed toward Peoples, which is right there on the Jackson-Laurel County line. This, again, is an area where we would be watching with particular interest if this storm were to spin something up, where you've got an individual cell and then a line that's going to be impinging on it. So again, that's something to be watching for here over the next few minutes. You guys are under the warning already, so you need to be in your shelters. We just wanted to really highlight again the potential with this storm as it's coming out. You've got the squall line here, the cell right here, and the two coming together. We've got some pictures that have come in as well. And again, we always thank you folks for sending the pictures in. This came in from Menifee County, and again, I mean, that's a very dramatic picture, obviously, that you're seeing there, and we've seen several very, very dramatic pictures that have come in over the course of the afternoon and this evening. What has been really telling the tale of some of those aerial pictures we were getting earlier out of Indiana, and I don't even want to see the pictures that are going to be coming out of Morgan County when that time comes. It was bad enough what happened on Wednesday, but again, everything we've been hearing is that it has maybe taken a worse hit today. On the Max Track Live, let's go back to it. And we've zoomed in now. We've shifted focus back again over toward Magoffin County. And with that, again, as classic a hook as you're going to see. And that is near Salyersville. It looks like the storm has gone by Salyersville, although you're getting exceedingly heavy rain. If the storm is tornadic, it's between Salyersville and Falcon. The threat button, again, indicating very strong winds have been taking place near Salyersville. And again, the storm moving to the northeast. So again, Magoffin County has been hit by maybe a tornadic storm as it's been working its way to the northeast. That's that same cell we've been tracking here for quite a while. That storm is going to be headed toward Falcon. That's getting into the northeastern part of Magoffin County. That's eventually targeting, it looks like, the southern part of Johnson County, as that storm does continue working its way very quickly to the east at around 30 miles an hour. Tom, let's go ahead and down toward Pulaski and Wayne County. Let's head down toward Lake Cumberland. We're getting some amateur radio reports. So this is what's crossing now. A storm down in Wayne County has been exhibiting some rotation. So go a little further south. You see it's the storm down there by Monticello. So again, for that particular cell, we do have a tornado warning that is up for Wayne County. We also continue with tornado warnings Clay, Jackson, Laurel, Owsley, and Rockcastle until 7:45. Reported a funnel cloud near Wood Creek Lake. We had one of those on Wednesday too. That name jumps back out. So that's going to be the storm that we were just showing you just a second ago there on the Max Track Live, and that's moving to the east at around 55 miles an hour. But there's a storm in Wayne County. That one's on a path to take it toward McCreary, as well as the southern part of Pulaski County, right there along and south of Lake Cumberland. So for you folks there, you need to be aware of that storm and being in shelters at this point with that storm going by. Golf ball size hail came out of Lancaster. That was about an hour ago. So again, that report just coming in. Trees down in the Fort Knox area back, that's way to the west. We've also had a report of a roof off a house and barn on Duncannon Lane. That's in the central part of Madison County, south of Richmond. So again, some of what we have been reporting. Golf ball size hail in the community of Pulaski in Pulaski County. That occurred about 20 minutes ago. So that's from one of the other storms that went through. But again, the line of severe thunderstorms, any one of which now still can produce a tornado, runs from near West Liberty, actually to Paintsville, West Liberty, to Salyersville, then continues to Campton, down to Stanton and Irvin. That's more likely just going to be a heavy rainmaker at this point, maybe hail. And then it continues down to Rockcastle County. It's that merging of the two cells that we showed you, the line that cuts through Rockcastle County and that individual cell north of London of one area that is particular concern. That, again, is what we were just showing you there, and that new tornado warning has been issued for that. That's a tornado warning that runs into southern Jackson, northern part of Clay County, up around Goose Creek and Manchester. That storm has passed by I-75 and US 25 at this point. So, again, one of the storms that we continue to track. And one more time, head on down toward Monticello for, again, that new potentially tornadic storm that is down in Wayne County that is headed into McCreary as well as Whitley County. So again, the threat continues pressing eastward as we go through time. Those storms continue to be strong, severe, and potentially tornadic. It has been a barrage of these for about the last 3 hours. Quarter-size hail comes out of the community of Pongo in Rockcastle County. That reported by Fire Department and Rescue. And again, a funnel cloud report coming out of the Wolf Creek Lake area. And again, we just passed that on to you just a second ago. So again, those are the most up-to-date reports that we have. New tornado warning is now coming out for Floyd, Johnson, Magoffin counties. This is going to be in effect until 8 o'clock. And again, the storm is giving radar indications that it is producing a tornado. It is just to the east of Salyersville and moving east again, perhaps as close as to 70 miles an hour. So again, the communities that are in east of this storm, you're going to see your weather change dramatically over the course of a couple of minutes, although it looks like the worst of that storm may be getting out of Magoffin County at this point and headed more into Johnson County. So if you're watching in Paintsville or watching on the internet in Paintsville, be prepared that you have that storm coming your way. We're going to send it over to Kevin and Nancy.
Bill, just an example of the havoc that storms like this can cause. I want to let you know something going on in Louisville right now. Officials at Cosair Children's Hospital are having trouble identifying a 2-year-old to 3-year-old little girl who was flown to that hospital from southern Indiana. She was found in a field in Salem, Indiana. Flown to Cosair Children's Hospital. No idea who this little girl is. Just unfathomable.
And we know that the devastation in Henryville and Marysville in southern Indiana, Henry about 20 miles north of Louisville, I guess, has just been unimaginable. Joining us on the phone right now from Kentucky State Police is Andre Samu. He's in Clay City. What can you tell us about the marching orders for KSP tonight and what you're seeing there in Clay City right now?
Well, there's a bunch of trees that are down, obviously, everywhere. Right now we're getting reports from Wolf County that the windows in one of the local banks has been blown out. We're also getting reports in Menifee County of some damages, and also the more extreme is over there in Morgan County in Main Street. We're hearing that there's a lot of extensive damages over there.
What are some of the reports coming out of Morgan County that you've heard?
We heard that maybe the fire department might be destroyed there, and just a whole bunch of buildings. To be specific, I can't give you that right now, but there is a tremendous amount of damage over there.
Have you heard reports of any injuries there?
None that's been reported to me yet.
Anywhere else?
No report of injuries anywhere as far as we can tell. There was a trailer park that was damaged, but again, not knowing if there's any injuries reported yet or not.
That's the good news in all this, that so far there haven't been reports of injuries. Thank you, Trooper Andre Samu with the Kentucky State Police Force. We know you have a busy night ahead of you and a busy couple of days ahead of you, in fact. Again, the governor's declared a state of emergency statewide. At this point, it would almost be easier to name the counties that were not affected by this outbreak of severe weather today. The National Guard stands at the ready. So does our Chief Meteorologist, Bill Mack. Bill?
Just had a report come across our wires here that a tornado was confirmed by KSP at the Rockcastle Laurel County line. That happened within about the last 10 or 15 minutes. So again, what appears to be another confirmation of a tornado. Rockcastle Laurel County lines. We've got storms that have been rolling through eastern Kentucky, moving out of McGoffin County into Johnson County. Heavy rain now continuing for many of these storms. We're zoomed in on the storm that is, again, we had a confirmation from, I think it was from KSP, that we did have a tornado on the ground confirmed by near Bernstadt. So again, these are some of the information that we're relaying along to you. That occurred at 7:10, so that was about 5 minutes ago where we're getting that confirmation of a report. So that was that storm that we were zoomed in on for you and highlighting. The storms are at the northern part of Laurel County, really now moving into the southern part of Jackson County. And we're Laurel County, Rockcastle County, Jackson County, where they converge is where we are watching this storm at this point. And this, again, north of London, well north of Corbin. So again, well north of London at this point, we're watching this particular cell, although there's still some backbuilding as we go on, look to the southwest, down Rockcastle County, back toward Pulaski County and Shopville. But again, this is where the line, that squall line, is merging with the individual cell. And again, that was one of the areas I said that we were highlighting. Another very strong thunderstorm, potentially tornadic, is in Wayne County, east of Monticello, and that storm again is progressing to the northeast. We're just getting a report into that Salyersville may be hit. We're getting reports of damage coming out of Salyersville. That storm is headed toward Paintsville at this point. Again, we will try and get confirmation on that, but again, it's looking like the storm that we were showing you that was moving into Salyersville may have also done damage there. So again, it's one of those situations where things are rapidly changing for folks in eastern Kentucky. We are looking at the potential for these storms continuing for about the next hour or two. That storm near Paintsville in Johnson County at this point, and that storm, again, has a history of damage back in Salyersville. We then continue to more thunderstorms in southern Morgan County, most of Wolfe County, especially north of the Parkway. Then it angles southwest from Slade down to Zoe, almost to Beattyville there in Lee County. It looks like the worst is passed by Irvin and Ravenna. Sand Gap has a heavy storm in progress down toward McKee. We were looking at that line merging with the individual cell. Livingston on up to McKee, then over toward Tyner, Anvil, eventually headed toward Island City there in Owsley County. You look toward Shopville there in Pulaski County. That storm is going to eventually clip by London. And then more storms as you look toward southern Pulaski County and Wayne County. So that's the back edge of the severe weather at this point. Baseball-sized hail has been occurring now in Harlan County. We report of a tornado on the ground. That was going to be about a few minutes ago out of Bernstadt. It might be East Bernstadt, and since it's coming out of Laurel County, it might be East Bernstadt. That again just comes in over the last few minutes. Again, these are unconfirmed, I think, reports at this point that we're seeing these tornado reports coming in. So again, this is now getting into eastern and southeastern Kentucky. There's that heavy cell by Black Mountain. They're going out there past Harlan. But again, greatest threat at this point, the storm that's by Paintsville and the storm that's in northern Laurel, southern Jackson, and Rockcastle counties. Those appear to be our greatest threats at this point, with other thunderstorms certainly capable of damaging winds and hail running from Campton down through Beattyville to McKee. But it's those two particular cells, the Paintsville cell, the one that's gone through Salyersville at this point, and then the one that's from down to the southwest of it, looking from southern Jackson County, southern Rockcastle County into the northern part of Laurel County, where we're looking at the potential for other severe thunderstorms, potentially tornadic ones.
All right, now we'll go ahead and zoom in on that one out towards Johnson County because we're getting those first few reports out of Salyersville, northern Magoffin County, potential damage there. So, as Bill was saying, a lot of folks out in our far eastern counties can't catch us so much over the air, but can online. So if you're watching via that and you're anywhere within the Paintsville area, Johnson County, this is an area that's getting hit at the moment on the Max Track Live. And these storms, the motion of these has been generally off to the east-northeast. So if you're out on the extreme eastern edge of our viewing area towards Inez, northern Martin County, that's an area where you have to watch out for that storm as it comes in. It's just about on the western edge of the county there, and essentially right on top of Paintsville. That is a potentially dangerous storm as far as the tornadic possibilities go. And as we zoom back out again and take you off to the southwest, the other area that we were just highlighting remains as you kind of arc down to the southwest to get down towards Hazel Patch, North Laurel County. The storm that just went through Laurel County and is now up into southern Jackson County towards Tyner and to the south of McKee. And again, where it kind of wraps back through southern Rockcastle County through Livingston. There's also the potential for very damaging wind and large hail. Just an incredible number of reports of hail coming in, anywhere from 1.5 inches to over 2 inches in diameter. So just that alone can cause tremendous damage. But overall, the damaging wind from potential tornadoes has been the major threat, and it continues to be so. It's just pushed more into southeastern Kentucky now. And we'll go ahead and give you a rundown of the warnings as they continue. It's a very unfortunate situation where we have to do it this way, but we've got tornado warnings that are coming in like severe thunderstorm warnings that we've talked about. Here's the latest list, and this is for Clay County, Estill County, Floyd County. Remember, these are tornado warnings. Jackson County, Johnson County, Laurel, Magoffin, Owsley, Rockcastle County. So the list has shrunk a bit from what we had a little bit earlier. Various expiration times, generally about 7:45 to 8 o'clock, so a lot of them still have a good half an hour to 40 minutes left on them. If you're anywhere within the vicinity of these storms, you basically have to treat them like they're potentially tornadic, whether they are or not, because they've had a history coming out of southern Indiana and western Kentucky earlier this afternoon, and then, of course, through the bluegrass in central Kentucky and now in southeastern Kentucky. Of, if anything else, the potential for damaging wind, but obviously the concern for tornadoes, which we've had 2 run-ins with this week, and also the possibility of that hail.
And we're looking at the warnings now, and again, we've got the map up here for you. So we're talking folks in Laurel County until 7:45, Clay County until 7:45, Owsley County until 7:45, southern Jackson until 7:45, Rockcastle, northern Rockcastle, and northern Jackson until 7:45. Lee County until 7:45, Estill County until 7:45, southern Wolfe County until 7:45. You're looking at northern Breathitt until 7:45. We're getting reports out of Magoffin County that Salyersville may have been hit. 7:45 there. Johnson County until 8 o'clock. Northern Floyd County, that is a tornado warning until 8 o'clock. Here are the damage reports so far. Again, tornado near West Liberty, potential tornado near Wellington in Menifee County. Hail, large hail near Frenchburg. Near Crockett, a tornado. Again, that was that cell that we were showing you time and again as it went through Morgan County. If you're looking at that's 112 hail reports so far. That extends into western Kentucky and Indiana, so that's within the realm of the map. But again, all the green that you see, these are all the large hail reports that have come in. And again, just incredible numbers of these 2 3/4 inch out of trap. So that's getting into the baseball-sized hail. Out of the Alton area in Anderson County, golf ball-sized hail out of Franklin County by Frankfort. You've got the other big hail in Junction City by Gravel Switch. Northern part of Russell County, 1 3/4 hail. So again, you're seeing the paths of these storms as they've come across. In the yellow, you've got wind gusts of 60 miles an hour in Georgetown. The same thing, 62 miles per hour from the Mesonet site there by Richmond. You have wind gusts to 70 miles an hour north of Mount Sterling. By Rowan County there, 60 mile per hour wind gusts from these storms that came through earlier. And again, we've heard reports of extensive damage coming out of Bath County with these storms when they went through. On the Max Track Live Doppler, you can see another storm wrapping up in Wolfe County. That one by moving in now on Campton and then arcing to the south, so near the Wolf-Lee County line. It's gone past Zoe, just south of Campton there. We are looking at, again, the potential for a tornadic storm. That area is under a tornado warning. That's moving out along and south of the Mountain Parkway. Continues in a line from Beattyville then to the southern part of Estill County, down toward McKee in Jackson. These storms are, again, strong, severe, and again, potentially tornadic. Storms have got another wave moving into the northern part of Laurel County here. So for you folks there, you're still not out of the woods yet. The storm also coming out of Wayne County. That's headed toward the northern part of out of McCreary County. For you folks there, again, that storm is strong. I don't see a warning box on it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
So that one is just at this point a thunderstorm, but one, given the setup, we need to stay aware of what every thunderstorm is doing at this point. We are looking at these storms continuing, progressing to the east. Again, to the north and west of Lexington, everything is done. We are done with the threat for severe weather. So Lexington folks and Lexington surrounding communities, the threat is done. New tornado warning has just come out. This one is going to be until 8 o'clock. Knox, McCreary, Wayne, Whitley. So that's the storm we were just looking at, wondering if there was a box on it. Well, there is. And it just has come out, and this one is going to be in effect until 8 o'clock. Knox, McCreary, Wayne, Whitley until 8 o'clock. That storm, again, capable of producing a tornado. It is moving to the east at around 65 miles an hour coming out of Wayne County. There may be a couple of more cells. That's actually down. It's a cell coming out of Tennessee. So it wasn't the cell we were looking at. It's one to the south. So this is going to be the southern part of Whitley, the southern part of McCreary, and, well, Knox is barely touched by that particular cell right now, but that may change as the storm works its way northeast. So, again, that's the brand new tornado warning that's out there. Law enforcement out of Livingston blew a truck off the road near 49-mile marker, 3 miles north of the Rockcastle County line. That's near Livingston. So that's with the storm. The time on that showing 7:17. So when that storm went through Livingston on I-75. So again, there may be maybe slowdowns along I-75 in southern southeastern Kentucky down there into Laurel County. You're looking at the storm there in Johnson County going over toward Martin County. The storm continues back towards Salyersville and Magoffin County as well. And then these storms do continue progressing east. That is it, just a meso-low that we're looking at? On the, I'll show you what we're just looking at here, and it's that looping back. That's where the about halfway between Somerset and Jackson, where you see that L shape. We're on that rate of the MaxTrack 3D now, the Viper, and you're seeing that's where the cells basically merged with the line. That's what we were talking about earlier. So again, presents a unique radar signature, but again, the potential is there for anywhere within that to be a tornadic storm, and again, why the warnings are issued. So we're back on the MaxTrack Live now, and the storms are working their way through southeastern Kentucky at this point as we continue to gather more of these reports coming in. Again, areas northwest, the threat has passed, but areas south and east, it does continue. Flash flooding is closed 3rd Street in Stanford. So that's back in Lincoln County. So the flooding threat for some communities also continues, but we are looking at multiple mobile homes damaged, perhaps in East Bernstadt in Laurel County. So again, that's going to be that same storm that we were looking at just a little bit ago. So again, Lindsay, can you go ahead and relay that to the newsroom? East Bernstadt, it looks like there's damage in East Bernstadt, Laurel County. We continue to track these storms. The damage cleanup is going to be continuing. If you are one of the unfortunate folks that as these storms have come through, if you have lost power, here are the numbers that you can call to get in contact with your local utility, depending on who serves you. Kentucky Utilities is 1-800-981-0600. Bluegrass Energy, 1-888-655-4243. Jackson RECC is 1-800-262-7480. These are the numbers for the various utilities around central and eastern Kentucky, again, whichever one happens to serve you.
Yeah, and looking at the MaxTrack Live right now, and at least assessing the threat from just a single glance, it looks like some of the worst of the storms starting to diminish, at least the overall distribution of the severe storms. The area obviously shrinking. We've got it now down confined to our southeastern counties. But one particularly nasty cell that came through Salyer'sville possibly caused some damage there, then went through Paintsville. It's now coming up on the extreme eastern edge of our viewing area, getting out towards Inez in North Martin County. And as we continue to look off to the west, West Liberty, an area that's been hammered, extensive damage out there, tornado touchdown, obviously unconfirmed, but lots of reports of it out there. And the survey crews are going to have their hands full over the next couple of days. You get down towards Campton, Wolfe County, an area hit multiple times. We've got a tornado warning in effect there. And as well as you get down through Beattyville, tornado warnings do continue down south. Now, that one that you heard Bill talking about, as you get down to around London and Corbin, will take you even further south. This one's actually coming out of Tennessee and then cutting up into southern McQuarrie County and over towards Williamsburg. So you folks, the storm isn't quite to you yet. It's just still across the border there on the Max Track Live, but you can see the core of it coming up on the Tennessee border. So that's eventually going to hop the border and get up into southern Kentucky. So that'll be the next threat for you folks down south.
And we've been giving you the warnings continuously. We've been showing you the polygons that are issued. With all the hectic nature of this today, we really haven't been able to let you know about something that we have for you. And after this all settles out, of course, we're just beginning severe weather season here, and unfortunately, we've begun it in a very big way. Well, we offer a service called Weather Call, and you can find out more about it by going to our website, WLEX18.com. For the next 60 days, there's a free trial. The free trial offer is going to be up for about a week. But if you go ahead and subscribe, you get 60 days free to give it a try. No responsibilities thereafter. If you enter promo code KY Weather Week, because we have our tornado drill, we've already done everything. The drill's kind of almost a moot point at this point with so much severe weather over the last couple of days. But again, enter promo code KY Weather Week to our Weather Call. If you go onto our website, LEX18.com, you get a 60-day free trial of Weather Call. It warns you not for your county, but it warns you for your address. Once you enter in all your data, your address is logged in, and so if your house comes under one of the polygons that we've been showing you, and we'll pop one of these on here for you to give you an idea what we're talking about. These are the polygons we're talking about. So if your house is in the northern part of Laurel County, you would have get the warning, but if you live in Corbin, you wouldn't. So again, that's what Weather Call does for us. And while we're here with the warnings, let's go ahead and talk about the warnings for you. Again, for Whitley County until 8, it's for McQuarrie County until 8, Whitley County until 8. We've got Laurel County until 7:45. We've got Clay County until 7:45, Southern Jackson County until 7:45. That goes into Owsley County as well until 7:45. We also have other warnings that are further to the north, and with these particular tornado warnings, it's northern Jackson until 7:45. It's Lee and Estill until 7:45. It's Wolfe and Breathitt until 7:45. McGough until 7:45. Johnson until 8 o'clock. There's the big picture. There's the big picture again, the Max Track Live, how everything is now just about all east of I-75, the exception being Whitley County at this point, and south of I-64. So again, those are areas south of I-64, east of I-75, where we remain under weather danger. But for now, we're going to send it over to Kevin and Nancy.
Thank you, Bill. We do, of course, have crews out all over the area, and we're beginning to get tidbits of information from various places, so we just want to bring you up to date on some of the latest information we have. In Bath County, they have declared the county a disaster area. There are roofs blown off, power lines down. At this point, though, no injuries reported. Trooper Andre Samu out of KSP tells us, confirms that the courthouse in Morgan County has been destroyed, but there are two there. There's a new courthouse and the old one. Not sure right now which one is, but one of them has been destroyed. And the latest out of southern Indiana, about 30 miles north of Louisville, the death toll now is up to 6 people dead in southern Indiana.
Yeah, of course, in southern Indiana, that's where the Clark County Sheriff's Department told us earlier that the town of Marysville completely gone. And we also know that there has been a lot of devastation in nearby Henryville, just east of there. Back here, a semi has blown over northbound I-75 between the 46 and 49 mile markers. They are running generators at the London State Police Post right now, and the entire north side of Laurel County is without power right now.
Again, we have crews in these various places, and we will bring you more information and certainly video with a look at the destruction as soon as we can. Right now, let's go back to the LEX18 Storm Tracker Weather Center.
And we continue to gather more information over here for you. And here is the MaxTrack Live Doppler. And you see the arcing of storms. And again, where we've highlighted this is now essentially south of I-64. That's where your threats remain. And more or less east of I-75, the exception being the far southern part of Kentucky as you look toward Whitley, as well as maybe the southern part of Laurel County. Here are again, you see the line of thunderstorms, Beattyville to Boonville, down south of McKee. South of London, now moving in on Corbin. Again, thunderstorms there. And then you move into what may be a tornadic storm. That still looks like a very strong storm that's there along the northern part of Whitley, or McCreary County, north of Whitley City. But the tornadic storm is actually coming out of Tennessee, down through the southern part of Whitley County, southern part of McCreary County, and then headed eventually toward Knox County. But again, for Knox County, that's still probably a good 45 minutes away with that particular cell. So you see I-75 there. The last of the storms to the west of I-75 are now along, say, the Cumberland River there, between Pulaski and McCreary County. That's actually to along the Laurel River there, going down toward Whitley City. Northern part of Whitley County, you're still looking at thunderstorms continuing on toward Corbin. Let's go ahead and go up northeast. And as we do that, you are again looking at the storms, Boonville, Beattyville, and again, those storms strong. We have tornado warnings that have continued for many of these storms as well. Mountain Parkway there along Campton and Wolfe County. West Liberty, we've talked about it, and we will be talking about West Liberty here for a while. Reports are coming in that there has been extensive damage in West Liberty again. We're also getting reports that there was damage in Salyersville. So again, all of those things we have to keep a close eye on. The storm's now moving toward Johnson County and Paintsville. So these storms are again continuing to progress off to the east at a rate close to 60 miles an hour with these storms. So again, heavy rain, large hail. Large hail has been the key player in many of these storms. And again, the tornadoes that have occurred as well, at least in some communities. And the storms now continuing to progress off to the east. But again, south of I-64, we're still under a threat. North of I-64, the threat is done. West of I-75, aside from southern Kentucky, the threat is past as well. And so once these last batches of storms go by you, your threat will end. This is once we get rid of these. And so we're seeing some, again, stronger storms down through Owsley County, and you can get into far eastern Kentucky out toward Martin County at this point. And we're continuing to track the storm coming out of Tennessee. The storms in southern Kentucky going through McCreary and Whitley counties, headed over into now the northern part of Knox County. So these storms continue again with the threat of being tornadic. They continue with the threat of being severe, and a new tornado warning has just come out. So let's go ahead and go up toward Owsley County. This is going to be Clay, Jackson, Laurel, Owsley, Rockcastle. This is a new tornado warning. It continues a tornado warning. We're continuing to see what may be a storm right near Island City at this point, and that's moving east at 55 miles an hour. So it's that cell right there by Island City, headed toward Ricetown. This is going to be south of Boonville. We're looking at that particular cell. And the communities in the path of this are Island City. You've got, again, some of the smaller communities, some of the old coal hollows there that you're seeing. So Ricetown 745. You get toward Lucky Fork at 748, Arnott 748. Other communities along the path of that storm, you eventually head out towards, say, Talbert. That's, again, looking off a little bit further to the east as you're continuing into, I think at that point, getting into might be Perry County at that point, it might be Breathitt County at that point. So that's, again, as we look off toward the east from that cell, and that's, again, that new tornado warning that's in the southern part of Owsley County.
And you can take the track of that one out to the east. It's going to take it right through, as Bill was saying, Breathitt County. So these are the kind of storms where even if it's not in your county, you're going to end up with a warning, but it's heading in your direction, and eventually it's going to get to you. So folks in Breathitt County, even though the storm's still out towards Island City and just off to your west in Owsley County, it's heading in your direction. Again, these storms, the majority of them through the day have been doing at about a 60 to 70 mile per hour speed coming in your direction. So it doesn't take them very long to get there. Latest MaxTrack live sweep rolling by, and it shows that storm with the newest tornado warning is now just to the south of Boonville, and now pretty much right on top of Ricetown, east of Island City. So the threat for Island City more or less over with. But again, if you're anywhere within Owsley County, That's an area of big-time concern for you. And the threats from this generally have been hail for hours now, but of course tornadoes have been huge, especially more off to the north and the east towards, say, Salyersville and West Liberty. But if you're south of Boonville and you're within Owsley County, you do have the newest tornado warning, and that extends off to the east there. The big picture, as far as the map goes, things are rapidly winding down for much of Kentucky. The threat has now pretty much settled into our eastern counties, running to the east of 75 until, of course, you get west towards McQuarrie County there, and then also arcing out towards Campton, and then as you head out to around West Liberty. So folks that got hammered so hard in West Liberty repeatedly this week, now that the majority of the damage has happened, you just got torrential rain dumping on West Liberty. And still the threat for possibly tornadic storms running from basically around Beattyville up through Campton, east to Salyersville, and still hitting Paintsville.
We can go even to the bigger picture here for you, and with that show you that there's the back edge of everything. So once we get rid of these, the storm threat is over. So it's passed by Somerset. Obviously, Lexington's in the clear, Louisville's in the clear. You get up toward northern Kentucky, all in the clear at this point. It is southeastern Kentucky that still remains under the threat for these strong, severe thunderstorms, again, capable of producing tornadoes at just about any time, and the tornado watch does continue. Now, the tornado watch is going to continue until midnight. Technically, for southeast Kentucky, these storms should be long gone by that point. But as we say all that, we are continuing to track these storms, and here are, again, the warnings that we show you. And again, the polygon warnings, trying to be a little more specific with where these warnings are. 7:45, so a couple more minutes for Lee County. Let's take this one to the east. Still 7:45 on all these warnings that you see, Morgan and Breathitt. So right now, 7:45 is the out time for a lot of these. We'll have to see what gets extended eastward as we look ahead. In Magoffin County, that's going to be just the far eastern tip of Magoffin County, and that is in effect until 8 o'clock. We were showing this a little bit ago. Again, just, wow, they added. Look at the tornado reports out of southern Indiana going across northern Kentucky. That is, again, just an amazing number. Start doing the math, how many severe weather reports that we have just on that image. Now, it's not, again, just our viewing area. That includes southern Indiana, parts of western Kentucky. But again, right now there are 38 reports. And again, notice how it's linear. You go from southern Indiana, it's almost in a straight line across there, northern Kentucky, again, with the individual tornado reports. The same thing with that cell we were tracking coming across. In fact, you can follow the path from Danville to Madison County to the tornadoes again in Morgan County, just like we saw on Wednesday, where the storms begin, and you can follow essentially a linear path of damage from individual supercells as they work their way eastward. So again, nature unfortunately has a habit of repeating, and that is the case today, except today is worse than what we saw, it looks like, what we saw on Wednesday. Here's some X-Track Live, and again, we are tracking storms moving almost due east at this point. The storms that you see from Paintsville back to Salyersville, extremely heavy rain there, Campton back to Beattyville, and at the edge of that, the leading edge of that is where the tornadic threat will remain. And so that's the northern part of Breathitt County, the eastern part of Lee County, eastern part of Owsley County, heading into the southern part of Breathitt County there from that cell. And you've got the other big cells, that one coming out of northern McCreary. We've been talking about that one off and on here, and I still don't think that one has a warning issued for it. That almost looks like one of the stronger storms at this point. So you folks there, and it's coming out of northern McCreary. It's headed toward the northern part of Whitley. That path is also on a path toward Corbin. So you folks in Corbin, be prepared. You've got heavy rain ongoing right now, but that storm may pick up in intensity for you over the next few minutes as that storm comes your way at about 55 or 60 miles an hour. The storm that we see to the south coming out of Tennessee, that has a warning issued for it. That's on a path that will take it into southern Whitley, headed eventually into maybe southern Knox or western parts of Bell County. That one, again, pressing eastward at about 55 or 60 miles an hour. We have damage reports coming down out of Pittsburgh, which is in Laurel County. That's just north of London from a storm that went through earlier. We've got some trees and power lines down for folks there. So again, traffic has been hampered not only along, that would be along probably US 25, but also along I-75 in parts of southern Kentucky with these storms that have gone through. As Tom has zoomed in there, you see Salyersville again. You've got another wave coming through, and that is on top